Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing a question this week since last time we guys kind of did RP and speeches and then had to end it there. So I figured this is going to just be like a part 2 of last session.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever the good version of the OWO soldiers marching sound is. Wait, no, you guys sound too evil. We're the good guys.
Oh. Do that joke for Wreck-It Ralph.
The AI music generator.
Sing louder. We're the good guys. Cover up the sound of the demon golem army that we brought.
They do unfortunately play the Imperial March loop as they move.
The one thing Freya couldn't figure out how to turn off.
Yes. I can't fix the sound system.
Mm-hmm. It's just built into it. Mm-hmm. There's no off button.
It's hardwired.
This little VCR screen that just keeps blinking 0, 0, 0. I know it's 0. Why are you blinking? Oh man, future generations will not get the VCR clock joke anymore. Oh,
there's always microwave.
I suppose, but I mean, let's be
not quite the same.
No. All right, so very brief recap for you guys. You rallied your forces onto the grudge carrier. You dug your way down from where the ruined Duergar lab was. You have returned here to the map that I know you guys are currently on. Prepared to make war against the Cephalon and his ilk. Early recon showed that at least the camps around the north bridge, where the army was formerly stationed, are gone, with almost no sign that they were ever there. You have since sent out scouts. You sent some elves to the forest in the west, and orcish wyvern riders the skies around. The quarry is also abandoned. I put your guys' little flag there. I don't know where you would want to make camp, but you said you wanted to secure the quarry, so that felt like as close a location, unless you want to be literally right up on the bridge.
Seemed like there was some sort of emplacements at the other end of the bridge, so being at the foot of the bridge probably not the best idea.
Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, did we want to send some? Well, I don't know if this is the time, but do we want
that was the end of the recap?
Okay. Did we want to consider breaking off some of our troop to go around here to go to this side?
I thought we decided that after we do some recon, we were going to send half our troops to assault from that side, and the other half to lay siege on this side.
Yeah, how I had it in my notes was that you sent some of the Elven Rangers, as they're an elite woodland force, to recon the forest, and then you had Wyvern Riders sort of just in this general Skyboard area. Yeah, that's how I had it noted down here.
Yeah, yep.
Right now, I think what we might want to do is approach, fight them off, whatever that means, to get into the city through these two bridges. Or actually, do we just want to siege it and send us in?
I think that we were deciding that sieging and then sending us in as like covert ops might be the best way to.
Yeah, that sounds the best to me.
Out of curiosity, is this central thing, is it on its own little pillar coming from whatever, like?
Oh, the
so it's a bit
city?
Below. Yeah. So
no,
this is
from your view. You can tell there is no pillar it is standing on. It appears to be suspended.
Okay. Do these bridges seem to be what's suspended in?
You would need to get your engineering core closer to be able to get fine answers like that.
Yeah, that's why we need to at least claim the bridges before we do anything else.
Yes, if that is something you're interested in, when you get close, I can tell you that. You're dwarves, they would automatically know shit like that. I'm not going to make you roll or nothing, but just not the perimeter scouts.
Okay, that's fair. And you said this is abyss below, though, right?
Yes, just infinite blackish void.
So I guess I'm curious what the sides here look like. Is it just sheer into the void and just continues on, or does it
so you're rocked down beyond vision?
That would be a hilarious technicality. So technically, according to the invisibility spell, anything the target is wearing is invisible. So if we cast it on the pilot of one of the sky sloops, would it be invisible?
Is he wearing a sloop?
I don't think
Yes, he's
wearing.
strapped into it. That's why it'd be a hilarious technicality. I was going to ask if we could cast it on one of the sloops specifically.
I am going to stick with no for now because we're coming down the whole home stretch on this campaign. I want to go by the rules of 5th edition a little bit more. But I will say this. Someday in the future, when I drag you guys into playing more Dungeon Crawl Classics, hold on to that energy. That's definitely something you can do in that game. Because I think last time we played that, Loki forgot a couple of times that his enlarge spell can affect objects too, not just people for 10 minutes.
Right.
Which I just love that. That's just such a, there's so much shenanigans you can do with, I make this stone coffee mug bigger.
I was just trying to think of options for us.
More coffee.
Flying would definitely be the easiest. I mean, we do have access to flying creatures, too, thanks to the orcs, but...
Well, that's one way to trap a halfling.
I like what you're thinking, Kenneth, but we don't have to be flying up above the city. We could fly in through the abyss underneath and then come up right on the walls and just shoot straight up on one of these
Don't be
creatures.
silly, Thrum. That exhaust port's only 2 meters wide and carries garbage.
I used to bullseye womp rats that were
No, you used to bullseye
T6 on the home.
Womp,
Beggars Canyon back home.
He peed in there so many times.
Obi-Wan, I'm built different.
What is this green stuff down here?
Oh, that's water. Yeah, there
Rotation
appears to be
marks
a large waterfall from the ceiling here, and then it's dropping off into the void over there.
You know, maybe the void's not so bad. Maybe it's just draining that water that I want to get rid of.
I was waiting
Did you
for
ever
it.
find out what this is?
What?
So we found out
Oh,
where
that's-
all our toilets
That's
go.
some sort of fortress upon a high hill.
Gotcha.
That contents or what's in it, who knows? But
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get a bigger look on that with the riders so they can report back what it looks like closer up,
Yeah,
if it's occupied or not.
After all, it is also glowing, and the city is glowing. Perhaps there's a connection.
Any other questions? I have roles that I already did for your early recon reports. So
Yes, how many Bothans do we have to kill to get this intel?
all of them. Dogface
Yes.
motherfuckers know what they did.
So if we blow up the city, would we not believe our eyes when 10 million fireflies erupt?
Okay.
Anyway,
All
sorry.
right, I
continue.
pull up my Mon Calamari cruisers.
Okay, guys. Deep breath. Count to 3.
I'm here. I'm here.
I know.
I'm
Just
done.
having fun. All right. You guys get reports from Sazeric Snakeskin. His Wyvern Riders have returned. They had suffered no casualties on their aerial scouting. The walls of the city do appear to be occupied. Some range attacks came after them as they flew close, but they always made sure to stay at the edge of range. They had what seemed to be aerial supremacy at the time. However, there does appear to be some sort of magical shimmering dome of some sort over the city that's only visible when you get close. They didn't have any spellcasters on their Wyverns to identify it. What they did identify is that in front of each of these gates here on the city are what appears to be two very large, like, give base descriptions, but what you know is massive cannons pointed downrange the bridge. Scouting over here, it's mostly flat, rocky terrain. No real hiding spots other than the fort upon the ridge, which is a fairly large structure. It's not a small fort. It's large stone, Bugar construction. It looks like it has been retrofitted with a bunch of drow cannons into it, and it does appear to be occupied, but To what extent, you don't know. There looks like there's lots of supply wagons and such outside. Probably a workshop of some kind. That's the reports you get from the orcs.
You want to try and take out these cannons before we pull up?
You get
the cannons
report.
over at the workshop.
Might be worth investigating the workshop. Cut out on me again.
You get reports back from Aya Galleon and her elven rangers. Their trip was significantly less productive. Not all of the rangers returned. They reported entering the forest, which the structures do resemble trees, but they're fleshier, almost like exposed nerve growths coming out of the ground. When they were moving through the terrain, several of their rangers began acting abnormally, and via well-placed detection magic, they determined that at some point in their patrol that they had been taken by intellect devourers. She reports that it seems that the forest is some sort of, I guess the closest term is breeding ground for them. Any significantly organic force moving through there is going to risk those fuckers shrinking down and crawling to their ear and being infiltrators from within. I rolled very high on the results of their search, so surprise, you get the plot twist. So I will lower your Elven Rangers by, I'm going to just pop over here by 4 because they had to put some of their own down. But other than that, they return intact.
And the rogue trader in me now says that we need to go ahead and exterminate the remainder of the force of rangers that came back because we can't trust any of them now.
Mally, do you want to go burn a forest? Just, don't land in it.
Definitely sounds like if we're going to send troops, we should send our Iron Army.
Yeah,
If
Iron
you-
Army might be good just to stomp things out in there.
If you guys are paranoid about the Elven Rangers, you do know that detect good and evil can flag intellect devourers. You discovered that yourself.
Yeah.
The path of walking madness. So
All right,
can get-
everyone, line up for the clerics.
yep, you're able to screen them all.
Rum
and you're
walks
good.
up with his axe. If you fail, you come over here.
Promise not to poison you.
But yeah, that's the
They
reports from
did
the early
fortify
scouts.
that side too from our aerial observation, right?
Yeah,
It's not
all
like
the
it's easier.
all the sides of the city, the 4 gates, seem equally as fortified.
All right, then I would agree we should send the Black Iron Army, but do we just want to send them all the way around?
Probably not all of
that'll-
them. We could probably just send
No,
half
we
over
could
there,
definitely.
and they could
Yeah.
take charge of fortifying that wall until we clear off a path that's safe to travel.
Okay.
Could we send some scouts to see how deep this water is? Because I'm
we
thinking
really-
the Black Army could, now that I'm realizing this is solid underneath, could walk across the bottom of the ocean over here, and we could attack from all 4 sides, technically.
Well, none of our air
Might be a
force was
strong
intercepted,
current.
so we could just ferry them to the east side too. Problem is that a bridge like this is a pretty good choke point.
Yeah, and cannons at the end of it. That's a pretty good killing field. How many, Gumbo, can we estimate the size of this bridge versus the size of a group of our Black Army? How many we could get going down the bridge at one time? So we could say, okay, and my thought here is, do we have so many, and this is such a good choke point, that we're only going to be able to have 10% of our army on a bridge at a time, and the other 90% sitting there waiting, twiddling their thumbs? Then I would say it's worth the extra time to attack from all 4 sides.
It's
So,
a very wide bridge. I would say it's maybe 2.5 football fields wide. It's
Oh,
a
God.
wide thoroughfare. The issue is that it's just solid, flat terrain. There's no cover. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They just shoot it down. And
So
since it's so long, it's difficult. Even if you turn around and run away, they still get to shoot your back for a bit as you're going.
Yeah, I'm not normally for brute force in a situation, but we do have a very good hammer. So if we just
But-
charge down the middle with the Black Iron Army, we're probably going to get in, definitely, and then our fleshy forces will be in good shape to follow up behind.
It might be worthwhile to investigate the whatever shimmering domes around it. See how high that extends, and potentially see if we could do an air insertion.
I do wonder if we should attend to that fort as well.
Yeah, the fort needs to be examined.
I'm open to going for the fort as well, but in the meantime, it could be beneficial to have others checking out the dome and trying to understand the nature of it while we're doing that.
All right.
Could we,
So go ahead,
I was
Richard.
going to suggest we can load up one of our boats with a cannon and see if we can fire at the dome and see if it prevents entry. Because if it prevents entry, we're going to have to find a workaround, and we might need to examine this place.
May I have someone
first.
cast invisibility or something or flight? Go and just try it.
Yeah, that's what I was proposing, having somebody who's magically inclined go invisibly if possible and see if they could detect magic and just understand the nature of that dome.
Let's do it. Let's have that done.
Are you sending just like some troops to do it?
I mean, we could probably reach out to the other armies and see if there's any specialists that might be cut out for that job.
Yeah. I was just gonna abridge it into if we're gonna do a roll or if there's actually gonna be player characters mounting up into a scene. That's what I want to know. Because if you want to say that you're gonna send some troops to do it, I'm aware of your army's assets. There's absolutely some people that can do this. I'll just do a behind the DM screen roll to see what the results are, and get back to you right away.
Yeah,
So
I would say we delegate that particular task, while the rest of us, get ready to investigate the fort on the other side there, because I think I am very curious what's there too, and we have sloops enough to bring at least a few squads with us. Right, how many sloops did we bring?
I'll check your thingamajig. I got it.
And both me and Fergus would probably point out that each one of these areas that the bridges lead
20
to
total.
have their
Okay.
distinct features, but the one with the base here doesn't really seem to have distinct features. It's just rocky terrain. There seems to be something going on with every other spot, but why not where the base is?
It's entirely
also-
possible that what's where the fort is, it could
It's
be
important to
under
know.
the surface, because before they tore away this side, it might have been flat and open like that. And it also begs the question, what's going on the island to the
So
south?
that's what I'm saying. Like they've
Yeah.
had stuff. They're using every other space for something else, but this one just has a base on it, but nothing else on it. So this must be important enough to warrant this whole area versus the other areas being utilized for other assets.
They're radioactive enough that nothing needs to be near it.
We go raid the base. We all return with cancer. It'll be a short life, my friends. Wow, what does
I
the sign
do-
say? Chernobyl? Weird.
With Kenneth's words in mind, we do have the battering ram to fuck it all, just keep pushing here until we breach this door, and let's just concentrate on one side. I do like that idea, but I am in favor of.
I mean, that would
here, and
be
let's
committing to having our forces just raid the whole city instead of sending ourselves in to go and find Encephalon, which would probably mean we're killing a lot more of just regular crowd. 'Cause, I mean, this is a city. I imagine there are like women and children who are, I don't know, maybe they have illicit brains already, but I don't think everyone does.
Yeah, this
one that
isn't
we
like
have-
the Drow
Let's assume-
capital or anything.
Well, let's start doing some stuff. Can we send the people to touch the bubble?
Well, I think one thing we should also keep in mind is, it's very likely that everybody in that city is gearing towards ending the world.
Yeah, we're killing everybody.
Yeah, this is the long lost Dwerger city.
Yeah, this isn't a civilization. This is a this is a weapon.
Yeah, we're kind of
The
like
Death
wasting
the
daylight
Death Star
hours here.
analogies are humorous, but not unapt. I would definitely say.
Okay, I heard city, and I thought there were people living here.
I mean, there
And
could
there's
be,
an
but they
army
also could
that
be.
It's an
Exactly.
ancient Durgar city that has been reclaimed, from what I understood.
Mm. That
But
was the
there's
story
not
that-
like restaurants.
that Caliber, when he told you about when he went there, said that only it was inhabited by aberrant creatures and nightmarish entities from the bottom of the world.
Okay, I thought this was. I guess it was a Dweger capital city. I thought it was the Drow capital city.
No. You know where that is. It's not this.
Okay.
What do you want to bet
So-
that the Drow Queen is sitting in that base over there?
I hope so. And she would die. All right, guys, we have a tendency to overanalyze and keep doing.
Yeah,
a
I'm
whole
saying we
bunch
should
of-
start
I've
with
already,
the investigation.
I've already
let's-
proposed.
All right, so
Let's
step
put
one.
the things in motion we've said.
recon for the bubble.
Yes. Yeah. We're gonna send specialists, whichever army unit we feel is best suited for it. While we
Okay.
shall we load up the sloops with some troops and
Let's just
just
start with
head-
the bubble investigation, I think. That way we can just take one step at a time. We can say we're doing things
Yep.
at the same
One
time,
at a time.
but for
Okay.
narrative purposes,
Yep.
let's just do it one at a time so we don't get kind of bogged down.
All
sounds
right.
good. All right.
Recon team from around the bubble, get back. It was a little bit tricky to avoid the arrow fire from the walls, but they were able to get some high magical scans of it. The bubble appears to be multiple overlapping layers of divine abjuration magic. Sort of multiple spells stacked on top of each other. Incredible that someone's able to concentrate on that much mental power to hold it down. But it is essentially multiple protection spells at once. It's got alarming spells. It's got sanctuary, so that way trying to move through it, you would have to do a save, or you couldn't. And it also appears to be, I don't know if there's a good fifth digit of it, but like a missile screening. So
Like a wind wall, but for like just projectiles in
Yeah.
general.
yeah, so if you tried to get your sky sloops and fire your Centurions beyond wall range at the city from above, it would just smash directly into the shield Gungan style, and it wouldn't be able to get in.
Does that also apply to like free falling?
Are we sending
It,
in
parachute in.
parachuters?
Is this the Dune equivalent of has to go through slowly?
very similar to that. If you are a living person trying to pass through it, you will need to do a wisdom saving throw against whoever's
Hmm.
maintaining it, or it will be
Okay.
solid for you.
But if we just
Okay.
fall, we fall before we can make the wisdom save. That might hurt, though, is the issue.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
Does
before
it
we investigate that,
encapsulate the outside of the wall?
It looks like it comes down just inside the wall. So the outer ramparts, like here, where the
So we could
cannons.
land on those.
Yes, except for all the dudes and the guns.
Okay, so this really is protecting the inside of the city.
Mm-hmm.
so
Correct.
we could send a strike team potentially with us, depending on how manned the walls are, to try to disable the guns on one of the doors before sending
I
in.
think the next step is to send somebody to investigate at least the outside on the ground level of that base, so we know if we need
Yeah,
to go
no,
deal with that
I-
first.
Yeah, I'm good to move on to the fort and see what's going on there for sure.
Okay.
I just know we have a
Thanks
tendency
for-
to just like come up with a bunch of plans and just not interact with any of them. So
Yep, fair.
Yeah, let's go with what we've already talked about, and then next ideas.
So yeah, we're sending a group to investigate. Maybe not go inside, but investigate the outside to see if there's any activity or any like noticeable things about the base that they can report back to us.
Sure. Oh, let me see. One moment. Any particular group in your army? You got some Freeling scouts. You got your Iron Cloak scouts.
Um,
This is all the same odds. I just want to know. Because if I roll low, then there's a chance of
In
you
that
catching
case, the
a dig.
freelings.
I mean, yeah, that's not why I was leading towards the freelings, but they're smaller, so
Mhm.
if less chance of them being noticed, so it makes sense to send them. I know there's a mixed group, but they do have a lot of kobolds. So
Ah,
Yep.
yes,
And the
bipartisanship. Send them to die.
This is a drow fort from at least initial inspections. They might be inclined to want to get revenge against the drow.
Oh yeah, motivation isn't the problem. They're mercenaries.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just me literally
Fair.
determining that if it rolled bad, who's going to take the damage? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyone who
yeah.
tell you
Yeah, send the
tell to go
kobolds
will
back.
go. Yeah.
Yes, freelings, we just think you're so good at your job that we want you to go.
I mean, this is what we pay them for.
Yes, we intend on paying you.
Speaking of which, let us hold your gold purses in safekeeping before you go.
No. We pay you after we get back home, of course. Yes, sort of taking your cut of the riches idea.
And if the world is destroyed, where are you going to spend it?
Yes,
Sure.
my good friend. Yes, my good friend. You make a
You know,
wonderful point.
That happened in my other campaign where they're in a murder circus where they were going to the carnival games and there was one of those dunking booths. And they're like,
Mhm.
you'll get some money by being the person being dunked no matter what happens. And they're like, I don't trust that. So they got a natural 20 on persuading just a random person on the street to sit up on the seat for them. And I'm like, this guy's like, okay, I'll do that. Say, I don't want to get my food read. Could you hold it for me? And while I'm at that, could you hold all my money as well? And he goes up on this dunking booth and they dunk him in. And he goes underwater for a long time.
Acid.
And then he splashes up. He climbs out and he goes, gee willikers, there was like a giant octopus or something in there that tried to grab me. Anyway, can I have my money? Because I rolled a natural 20 on him escaping the grapple. So he was totally fine.
Gee willikers. Scoob, there's something strange down there.
All right. So after a couple days of absence of recon, some of the freelings that you sent to scout out come back. They had an extremely hard time getting close to the fort. Though their stealth abilities are very good. Some sort of sights or something they had on the fort that they weren't able to get close to identify was apparently able to spot them. And that vast flat terrain worked against them as the cannons mounted on the fort were able to rain destruction down upon them pretty easily, and they were forced to withdraw.
Not our friends, the freelings.
No one
Freya's
said
a little
come
too
back
happy
without
about not having to
information.
pay the mercenaries.
None of them died. A few wounds, but
No.
Then they gave up.
We will remember their names.
Are these cannons, by the way, like a magical cannon, or are they like physical ball cannons?
physical ball, black powder cannons.
Gotcha.
You remember that the drow started putting them on their ships on the Sunless Sea.
Well, that's
They've
good
got a-
because slow reload times. Or did we see them reloading on the Sunless Sea? Or are they fast?
No, they're normal black powder cannons where you need to stuff in the powder and clean them out and everything like that. It's not speedy. It's just
So-
if you get enough people.
Here's a wild idea. Do we have the bullet units at all?
Yes.
Could we have them? Could we mount 5 bullets and just dig down through and just emerge next to the base and just raid it ourselves?
Can't dig
Sure.
through stone.
Oh,
Okay.
can't dig through stone. That's
I
right.
wasn't sure about that. I couldn't remember how that worked. So
The only
Five points.
creatures
It's
in
not what
Dungeons
they
and
do.
Dragons that can dig through stone are purple worms. As far as as far as I know, these are the only monsters that can do it.
How did our program to collect purple worm eggs and raise them and train them go?
Never found a nest.
All right, everybody, back to Dammerhall.
I mean, we may not have a purple worm. We've got the grudge carrier.
Attack call,
Oh,
don't attack a
yeah.
worm.
The trick would be getting it across the infinite abyss.
No,
Yeah,
so
I
we
think
don't have to do that.
under-
We drive
under
it
the
up
water.
here, drive it down here, and then drill it under the water.
Presumably, the infinite abyss has an end at some point.
Oh, we know there's water, so there's land under here at some point, which is an
Yeah,
infinite
or
abyss.
you could have it go
so.
back up a ways and drill through the ceiling.
This is simple, though.
I think if
feel
we
like
could
the
drill
map
down
maker,
from, I think if we
map maker
drilled
left
down
this
from,
option on purpose.
I know
Damn.
one of you casters has Featherfall. Couldn't we just ride our Zeppelin and just jump down and Featherfall at the last few feet so we don't get actually shot by the cannons?
Actually, that's a good question. How tall is the ceilings in here, and compared to like cannon range?
It's definitely going to be beyond cannon range because you cannot see the top. I don't have exact numbers, but
Yeah, so we could literally just jump down and all group together, like free fall, hand hold in a circle, and as we get close to the end, Featherfall us all. It's an option. I'm just like listing ideas.
I mean, it sounds like
They won't have time to use the cannons if we're literally right there.
Especially if we're a small group.
But no one ever shoots a cannon straight up.
Well, I mean,
Impossible.
we're going down so fast they won't have time to readjust by the time we're on the ground and kicking their ass.
You can't point the old cannon straight up. It's too long.
Say, look, we'll be a small enough group where they won't even see us entering.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. So
Bye.
we're going to have a high altitude, low opening drop. Halo.
but it's stealth optional for this mission.
And he ain't
I look
gonna
for all
fly
very
no
heavy armor and
more.
a mech suit. I think stealth is out for this mission.
Although I think we could probably have a few other sloops in standby above that as the alarm gets raised, we could send in
Like
reinforcements.
I feel like if we can disable the cannons, we can have them help secure afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
We could turn the cannons onto the other cannons.
I mean, yeah, we
like
can
it.
commandeer the cannons afterwards and just move them towards the bridge.
Let's do it. Thrum sharpening his axe.
all right.
Are you still using that dragon axe?
Yep, and he's smearing some black dirt on his face.
I'm smearing some
'cause
black tar
now-
heroin on my axe.
Yeah.
Now that he
That's-
grapples with his chains, he hits harder with his axe.
Oh,
And also
that is-
a
that
point
is-
of,
that is
point of
shit,
order.
Thrum. That is
That-
shit.
That axe does detect dragons.
No, this is quarry mud.
Oh,
yeah.
so it's god blood.
How many arrows could I coat in drow poison if I wanted to?
How much did you say you had?
We have 16 doses, I think. I think
so
I used,
16 arrows.
Okay. I'm going to coat 16 arrows in drow poison. Because fuck them. Because I'm pretty sure it works on them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask Scalebane where the bad dragon is.
So
It
Are
glows
we-
when you're close to them.
So what are we doing with the army? Are we not even moving the army in? Because what I'm hearing is we're just going in.
Well, you're
We're going
into
for the fort. Yeah, we're
Okay.
not storming the main city.
Okay,
Mm.
we're going all the way over.
We're trying to basically deal with what could be considered like a wild card if we don't deal with it before we seize the city.
And hopefully it might have a key to bypassing or getting into the city.
All right, let's find the boss key.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there any standing orders you want to leave?
Kill them all.
I was gonna say kill anyone who tries to cross the bridge towards us. Honestly, we at this point we're not negotiating or anything. So
Be wary of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if
You-
there's a
you got
dragon
one of
spread
those.
out.
Yeah, and of course mind controlling stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah, I figured
We're
all the
already behind
standard
pressure.
protect yourself stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you had any
Yeah.
assignments or additional scouts or anything like that.
did we want to send any of our Iron Army to start advancing forward through here?
I would say just have while we're doing this, have half the army. I think it was the Crushers. Just start literally smashing a road through
Yeah,
this path.
I'm down for that. I think that
Mm.
that sounds
And basically
like a good
stop
idea for
short
me.
of the bridge, but just make a just literal path straight through. So that way, if we have to go marching through here with actual people, they have a more sustained path where they don't get surprised.
Yes, my king.
All right, that reminds me. Freya, give me 2 charisma saving throws.
Is it? Nolgrim did say that he would be close to her pretty much anytime
Yep.
she's using the
She
crown.
can get the
so
bonus.
okay, so +5 to the roll.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so it'll be this +5.
Okay.
Can you also use your flash of insight to up that, or no?
I can.
Probably. Jesus.
right.
I rolled bad. I'll
Into-
use Flash of Genius twice to add 5, so those both have
16 and
16
14.
and 14.
16 and 14.
All right.
So if it's a tiered thing, I might be better. But if it's not, then I don't think it really mattered.
Feel an icy charge through the air.
All right. So you guys are going to gear up and you're going to airdrop into the fort.
So before we go in,
Mhm.
I think it's Freya that has Featherfall, right? Because I know you can change your spells out per rest, and I'm pretty sure that's the first level spell that you can have.
So-
I
I can just look it up on.
don't know that I would have prepared it because the suit I'm in.
Well, I'm
against
assuming
the
this is going to take 1 day to finish everything.
So-
We did
so,
say it
I
took
don't have
multiple
that
days to
real
come
quick.
back from the base.
Real quick. As she was, issuing orders and whatnot, is that like something she has to constantly be doing, or is it basically issue the order and then go about her business?
The complexity makes it a sustained thing.
Okay. Would it be like, could I use an insight roll to just check to see any sort of effect that the crown might be having on her while she's using it?
I am going to say no, because this is a
Okay.
very long, like sort of drawn out type deal. I'm fine with your aura giving
Okay.
a benefit, and of course, Flash of
Yeah.
Insight, because that's her own personal ability. But
Yeah.
this isn't some active glowy effect. That's
Okay. That's fair. Again,
would know
because
or be able to trigger.
he remembered he was basically tasked with making sure the crown doesn't,
Oh yeah.
overwhelm her. So he is going to be keeping an eye out for that. So I was just curious if basically just make it know that he's going to be keeping an eye out. So if there's any sort of role I could do, just let me know.
Absolutely.
Fingernails have started to turn black.
No corn demons suddenly spawning and running at us.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Outside
everything
the
seems
window,
on the
you
up and
see
up.
a demon appear.
But anyway, like I was saying, it doesn't have to be you have it memorized that day because it's not going to take. We're down here for more than 1 day, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
we would be able to go the next day, and you could have that prepared.
Okay.
Probably take us more than a day to get across this from there to here.
No, on the sloops, I don't think. I guess that's
would-
the question. How
It would
long?
Yeah,
definitely
what kind
be.
of range?
I'm keeping it very loosey goosey, but it's definitely more like it would take you a good chunk of a day to fly over and then fly back. So it is a sizable distance. Running would be a problem.
Mm.
I didn't give a firm measurement here, but
That's
like I
okay.
said, if you want to roughly scale it, as I said, the bridge here is like 2, maybe almost 3 football fields wide. So sort of holding that image in your head.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
I really wanted to make a Yo Mama joke right there.
Buckwheat.
All right, so before you guys take off, Fergus, you have the orders. The sloop is getting prepared. You return to your tent to gear up for your mission. Assumedly, Ivy is going to be in the chair, so to speak, to make sure you guys don't get mind controlled by anything. As you return to your tent, you find a unexpected occupant waiting for you. Sitting on your bed is a tabby house cat.
Oh no, it's you, isn't it?
In front of the house cat are two things: a foot-long, 4-inch wide box wrapped in leather, and a small, slightly orangey vial of liquid. The cat raises its head, looks at you judgmentally, and flicks its ears annoyed at you.
Yeah, it's you. So, have you come to offer aid, or just? Wait? You haven't heard you talk yet. Talk to make sure I'm not crazy.
The cat looks at you and then paws the vial. Just pop, 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 while making eye contact with you.
I would just grab the vial and look
Slowly
at it.
pushes it off the bed.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, if you don't take it, I'm gonna drop it.
It's very similar
I hate
gesture.
cats.
But I would take the vial and
Careful,
look at
don't
it.
you hate to pass it on.
Mm.
And look what happened.
Can I do like an alchemy check to see what it is? Or...
Sure.
Sure.
Intelligence alchemy, I'll say.
28.
Okay. You're very certain this is a potion to speak with animals.
Okay, yeah, I would just chug that then.
Finally. It took you long enough.
Listen, this is new territory for me. I'm not a druid.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Anyway, I arrived, as I said I would. Took me a little while to find you down here. You've certainly assembled quite the motley crew. The infernal golems are an interesting touch.
Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with those after this, but you needed all the help we can get rid of what's going on here.
Do as you must, fate of the world and all that. Well then,
Anyway.
with the other paw, nudges the box towards you, almost sliding off the bed.
No, don't drop it. I grab it before it drops off the bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know you're a cat, but you really need to stop doing that.
No.
So, what do I owe the pleasure? What is this?
You wanted a solution, so I provided one. Luckily, I was in this. What?
I was just making a bad joke. I said there's just a gun inside.
Have you not witnessed the power of the holy Glock?
Make sure to hold it sideways now.
Blessed be his 9 mil.
In his name, we shout bang, bang, bang. Anyway, I would just like open it, I guess, because he seems cryptic.
Inside, wrapped in a bit of fabric, you see what looks like the shard of a long, curved bone. Not humanoid in some way, it carved narrow as if to a point on one end. Leviticus continues to speak. Lucky for you, I was in the Serpent Isles, dealing with some of the followers of the Father of Serpents. He's an ornery old cuss, but he can be managed. I was able to acquire that at no small cost to myself, I might add. A little gratitude wouldn't hurt, Dwarf King. That
Good kitty.
is a shard of the Serpent God's fang. Contained within it is a few small drops of his divine venom. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting it on anything. Keep it within the fang there itself. But it is still a small part of a god's power. Now, how you choose to utilize it is up to you. Whatever is poisoned with it is most certainly will die sooner or later. But be advised that to take even the smallest bit of a god's power into yourself, a true god, not the watered-down playboys that you worship, of course, is to take a small part of that divinity for yourself. Any who is poisoned by this will experience an extreme increase in their power for the brief period before the poison kills them. You can turn it on your vile dragon if you wish, It will most certainly kill him, and most likely in the meantime, he will kill all of you. Or you can use it on an ally. It's a death sentence for them, but their power will be great. Hops down off your bed. Well, if there's nothing else.
Red Dragon.
Well, regardless of how I use it, I do appreciate the help.
This fang will make you powerful with no consequences, Malatraxes.
Go get him.
I imagine he's just leaving because I think his job is done.
It's that
Maladrax, what's
slow,
your
slightly
opinion
meandery walk that cats do.
So Maladrax, what's
Wait,
your
did you
opinion on
shit my
performance-enhancing drugs?
Sorry, what'd you say, Richard?
I was like, did you shit in my tent?
And threw up in your shoes.
Man, I just bought those shoes. Or at
Mal-
least I commissioned the shoes.
Malatraxes is like,
he sits down. He sits
Maladrax
down and
is
turns
like,
back to you.
fuck you, I'm natty.
He sits down and turns back to you. Please, you're king. You pay for nothing.
I guess that is a perk.
Do try not to fail. I put a lot of work into protecting this world. I would be cross if it all went to naught.
I mean, I imagine I wouldn't be happy either. God, this is weird talking to a cat.
Looks at you, silent and judgmental.
The worst part, no one else has heard me speak to the cat except for someone who's never going to meet anyone of my family. So I don't think they really actually believe me that I talk to a magical cat.
I'm not magical.
Yes, of course not. A cat that appeared in the Underdark out of nowhere. Totally not magic.
All cats can do this.
So then all cats are magic. You're not helping your case here.
Mortals. So reductive.
See, and you're calling me immortal. That means you're immortal. That is also some kind of magic. I probably just shouted at the cat as it leaves my tent.
Yep.
Everyone just sees me yelling to the air.
I like to think that speak with animal causes you to speak their dialect, so you're just in there meowing very loudly.
Hitchhiker's Guide shit. All the cats in the world are going to end up being fourth dimensional refugees.
Keep that in
Listen,
mind
it's-
for the world building.
It's not my fault that your species was bred improperly, that you only had one life. Take it up with your ancestors.
I don't like how you said bred improperly.
That implies eugenics, and that's
Someone
bad.
get Catler out of here.
Kittler. I will kill all the mice. Anyway.
How many lives do you have? 9, 9, 9.
No.
You guys are making it very difficult to get through a scene tonight.
I'm sorry.
I don't have anything else to add to this scene, so if we're done, we can be done.
This campaign in Germany. Just why?
As he's heading out, he stops and sticks his little cat head back in and says, "Oh, by the way, you're dealing with Ilthalids. They usually have a central elder brain that regulates their mental network. If you destroy that, you'll disrupt all their entire control."
Good to know. Wait, brain. And I'm just like baffled with that because I have to imagine Fergus knows much about the Illithids.
Mm. Well, you've seen a brain with legs, so
Yeah. Yeah, but that implies the existence of a grandma brain.
Yep. But now that I think about it, stepping back in the tent, assuming your victory, Leviticus flicks his tail, what are you going to do with the avatars?
Out of narrative thing, Gumbo, remind me of the avatars just so I can.
They're the
correct.
giant statues that will terraform the planet, kill everyone if they're activated. Right now, they're just statues in the center of the city.
I mean, ideally, I'd
the
like to get
thing,
them
the
destroyed so they
dragons
can't
after?
affect us again.
Mm. That's good. Might want to put thought into how to do that. If it was as easy just to smash with a hammer, I doubt they would have made it this long.
Yeah, that's true. I hate. Can I mention that I hate the gods, and this is making me hate them more?
There's grounds for that.
Okay, maybe you're not such a bad cat after all.
He licks his paw. The young ones that you worship are usually quite insufferable, if you ask me.
You sound like my uncle. Get out of here. Shoot, kitty.
Good luck. Try not to kill everyone.
Good luck. Try to not to have a good nap. I don't know what you cats do. I'm playing this as Fergus, just very flustered, talking with a cat. He does not know what to do.
All right, who's the person that's going to come get Fergus to tell him that the sky sloop is ready?
It's
I know,
gotta be
probably.
Thrum.
I was gonna say it has to be Thrum because Nolgrim is sticking to Freya like glue. So.
So, Thrum, as you're coming to the tent, you see a small tabby house cat exit the tent as Fergus is saying, "Good luck going and napping," or whatever. The cat just goes as it walks past you, and it just strides on.
And I look in the tent. There's a 12-inch long, 4-inch wide box that's been opened.
Mm.
There's a empty vial of something all on his bed. Look up at the, Fergus and I say, "What we do before a battle needs to stay with ourselves and not be spoken about in polite company. I won't mention a word. Let's go."
Fergus just kind of looks at Thrum, watches him leave his tent, and then walks out. Just doesn't have anything to add at this point.
Been holding on to that since you described that box.
Mm-hmm. Listen, there's only so many ways you can describe something. All right. Everyone kitted up to be airdropped.
Mm-hmm.
Did we say we were going to have some troops in the sloops nearby, just ready to descend
Well,
if we need them?
I assume that you're not gonna have an unmanned sloop that you all jump out of and have just keep sailing into a wall.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. But I'm saying like more than one sloop with like backup troops to
Well, how much
descend
can
and
one sloop
take
hold,
control
though?
if we need to.
Well, let's see. I actually put that down on the army thing, if I remember correctly.
Because depending on how much it could hold, it might not need more than one if it's just the one keep, but I don't know.
Sky sloops. Yeah, holds 10 times the number of sloops. So roughly 10 in addition to the crew per sloop.
Okay. So yeah, just bring like 3 sloops so that we have people to help fortify the base after we disable it.
To keep the other sloops away and we're the only ones attacking.
Yeah. Like the one sloop would be hovering directly over it to drop us, but the other ones would be on standby to receive orders if, we need them to come closer. Better prepared than not, kind of thing.
All right.
How do we select these troops? So like, who feels like dying like a hero? Maybe 10 of you.
I mean, I imagine we just bring whatever the strongest troops we have are. So.
Who wants to
I
come
could
watch
bring the
us
Grudge
fall
Knights,
onto the
I think.
castle and die?
The Grudge Knights could be solid at holding the position once we take it over.
Yep.
Here, there, the Dammerguard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we just say we mix up a little bit of Dammerguard in there because Dammerguard seems like.
Okay.
They are the royal guards.
Yeah,
so.
and the king is directly going into a firefight with just his group of family.
Sure.
They're probably all like on edge. Man, Fergus must give them so much anxiety because he just never does anything like a normal king.
Honestly, the drunken state after your former fiance ditched you, and then the day-long crawl with the 80 adventurers was probably the worst of it. The whole you airdropping into an enemy fortification like a badass is probably a little bit more in their wheelhouse of like, well, yeah, he's the hero of Dammerhall. This is what we would expect
Yeah.
him to be doing.
From now on, anytime there's an event at the castle, like, okay, we have to tell them we run out of booze after a certain time so the king doesn't drink too much again. I know we're dwarves and that's usually frowned upon, but we have to draw lines certain times.
All right. So I'm hearing
It's essential
three
for
sky-
national security.
I'm hearing 3 sky sloops.
Yes.
One with you guys on it, probably a couple other people, and then 2 other that are loaded down with backup squads.
Yes.
All right. You have a fairly uneventful flight. As you make your way over to the ground, you see the glow of the fort. The sloops stay high, well out of what the arcs of the cannons can get from the towers, until you are directly over the fortress.
Using the spyglass, can I get like a closer look on like what the fort, like if there's a good spot to drop in, or if there's like any noticeable things I can point out to the rest of the group?
Sure, give me a perception check.
Yep. Let me see. That should be 2 higher, so that's 24.
All right. So the fort is broken up into roughly 4 sections. There is the large central keep, and then it has arms that spread out to 2 square towers. Those towers are where the cannons seem to be located. The central keep is the tallest part. It has a glowing crystal on top, which is what you're seeing now. And that is most likely going to be where you will land. There appears to be multiple balconies and entrances.
Does it look like manned primarily by drow?
You do not see anyone on the parapets currently.
Okay.
The cannons are built into it, so anyone who's manning them
Gotcha.
would be inside the structure.
Gotcha. I assume we have Ivy manning the thing, so to protect against mental control. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I would relay the information, and I think we're ready to dive, gentlemen and lady.
All right. Anything else before you guys jump? Just want to make sure I'm not rushing you guys at it.
I can't think of anything myself, but
I'm just going to go large.
wait, what if we have to go through a door and you're large? Wouldn't it be just that? I don't know.
How many temporary hit points do we get at this point from you?
It is 23.
All right.
Hey, you don't worry about me, boy. You keep paying attention just to yourself.
Okie dokie.
All right. And so you all jump. You're falling for a short bit before Freya casts Featherfall on all of you. And then were you aiming for the central keep?
Yeah.
All right.
Seems to be the best
No.
option without having to force our way in through like a non-sealed area.
It is of absolutely no difficulty whatsoever for you guys to land on a balcony of the keep. You have heard no alarms. You have seen no one. The sky sloops are hidden in the darkness above you, using the natural shortness of dark vision to their advantage. And you are free to enter through these metal doors into the interior of the structure.
Out of curiosity, was it Ivy, or didn't we have like ability to communicate telepathy, or was that
Yeah,
something else?
Ivy set that up, but she's gone because she's
Otherwise
screening-
occupied.
Yeah, because
Okay.
she's using that same power to screen you guys from charm
Yep.
effects.
That's fair. I just was wanting to make sure that that was either not an effect or
Mm-hmm.
Reminder, I've got true sight.
Very good. What's the range on that?
120 feet.
Gotcha.
But that's probably capped by my dark vision.
Yeah, makes sense.
Goes.
Probably 60 feet off the standard dwarven.
I think it was more than that. And I thought I had it right.
Either way, there's nothing that TrueSight would reveal within the 120 feet right now anyway. So,
Okay.
Bathed in the sickly green light of the crystal above, you open the metal doors into the interior of the keep. It looks like at one point this maybe was some sort of bedroom or perhaps a guest chamber of the ancient Dugar who built this place. However, all the wrought iron metal furniture has been pushed over into one corner. The center of the room swept clear. And in the center, there is a hole that looks like it was crudely smashed into the floor with a large brass pipe going straight down, both from the top of the ceiling down through the floor to below. There looks like there is like handholds in the side of the pipe to use as like a rudimentary industrial ladder, but there's also a door on the other side of the room.
Can I sneak over and try to open the other door stealthily to kind of peek into the other side before we decide anything?
Sure, just give me a passive stealth for going forward.
Yep. That should be 3 higher, so that is 21.
All right. You see a curved staircase going down. Looks like there's a couple other landings that lead into rooms lower below this, but it is dark and it is quiet.
Gotcha. Well, gentlemen, do you want to take the stairs? Or do you want to try to go down this copper pipe?
I think stairs would be best.
We're
Just
gonna have
knowing
to
where that pipe
clean
would
this
lead.
place out.
Stairs it is.
All right. Creeping down the stairs, it appears that they spiral around the entire. Essentially, imagine the keep as a tube. And there's the exterior wall, and then there's an interior wall for the circular rooms at the center. And so as you're going down the spiral staircase, it goes around the entire perimeter of the interior wall. And so there will always just occasionally be a set of double doors leading into a room on each floor on your right side.
Gotcha.
Do you want to check through any of these closed doors as you're going? It so far seems pretty quiet.
Probably to be safe so we don't get surprised from behind. It'd be smart to at least check the room and make sure there's nothing just right on the other side or something.
Yeah. You go down for around 7 floors before anything changes. Every time you look into one of the rooms, you see a similar state to the one that you entered in. You see furniture pushed to the side, nothing smashed, everything pushed and stacked and ordered. And you see this large central copper pipe going straight down through the structure. From floor to floor to floor to floor.
Does it look like the pipe was installed like this building?
Oh,
was...
it's definitely newer than the rest of the building. It's
okay.
It's
He said it
shining.
was like crudely smashed a hole into the center.
Yeah,
Okay.
like someone took hammers or blunt strength and just blasted through the floor. This was not original construction.
Like an
Okay.
idiot, I forgot that as we're looking around, I can take a moment to see if I detect elves or dwarves within a 5-mile radius and their numbers and such. Oh,
Yes.
that was the wrong button.
Yeah, I remember your primeval awareness. You detect no dwarves other than yourself.
Oh no.
But you do detect elves.
Well, what happened to the other 4 fuckers here?
And this loop's
Gotta
left
let
us.
Maelstrom. You gotta let them go. They died in the Sunless Sea.
Oh,
Turns out Trump's been king all along.
Oh my
He's just been
God,
talking to
Josh,
himself.
I've been working that twist on me the whole
One of
time.
these days, I am going to do like a World of Darkness game or something, and I am going to legitimately pull that trick where I'm going to roll at random to select one player character. I'm going to pull everyone off into a side chat and say, "You are in their head."
Oh,
Mad
that's
King
amazing.
Thrum.
Oh,
Yeah, the Mad King's Rob. He's been king all along, and he just acts like Nolgrim, or not Nolgrim, Fergus, when he wants to act kingly.
Thrum was Bendrak all along.
Yeah. So you do detect drow. You detect a little over 4 dozen. There's a smaller group of them way down directly below you, but most of
Okay.
them seem to be gathered out in the other battlement towers where the cannons are located.
Let's deal with those ones below us first. They seem to be more important. We can deal with the cannons afterwards. Because
All right.
there's something going on with the copper pipe, and I want to see what's going on there.
I concur.
So we keep heading down.
As you say, King.
Eventually, the spiral staircase dead ends into another large set of metal double doors. These ones are open ajar, so you're able to peek through without needing to open them. And you see a long hall, not like a hallway, like a grand hall. You see the stern-faced statues of Dergar lining the walls between these long, almost Gothic architecture windows barred with iron. You recognize yourself as being like in the L section of the central fort that would connect to the other towers. However, you also notice much of like what you've seen before. The large central pipe seems to have it split at several parts. Up above, close to the ceiling, riveted in by metal cables, you see the pipe split and run along. There's also then several smaller pipes that come off of it that seem to come down to what was formerly wooden tables that have been cleared out. There's nothing on them. There are a few scattered papers on the ground. The carpet is a mess of drag marks, blood stains, and mud splatters. There is pox of broken stone all over the walls and into the statue where it looks like perhaps some equipment was mounted. And over many of the windows, you see the purple banners resting there, not blowing in any wind, that have a symbol that looks like the house crest of a drow house.
Fucking queen, I knew she was here.
Wait, is it the Queensdraw house,
Oh,
or
shit.
is it the house that we tipped off?
Give me a history.
Mhm.
I rolled it good a sec. And it's been a bit slow. There it goes. 26.
All right. You guys have said to take some time to examine Ivy's intelligence reports. These look like it is the crest of House of Vitharia, which is the house that Firana, the drow companion of Bendrak, was a part of. And also the house of Vadian, the alchemist, and Freya's self-styled contemporary.
Yeah, they were going to be together no matter what we did, I'm pretty sure. So better to deal with both of those bastards.
Their meat cute was too nice.
Spring out into the space, it looks like perhaps this was some sort of common area for housing paperwork and perhaps some sort of laboratory. From here, your path splits into roughly 4 directions. You've got each of the other battlement towers where the cannons are located. You have a direction that looks like it leads to a large exit gate out the rear of the fort that would take you down the ridge to outside. And then on the other side of the cylindrical structure that you just came down, there is another set of double doors that look like they lead deeper into the bowels of the earth.
So if I could just take a sec, as we're looking at the banners, maybe overthinking this or just trying to recall the story a bit. So, Caliburb's companions. It was the halfling, the drow, him, and was there a fourth?
There
Bedrak.
was
Yeah, so the dwarf.
the dwarf and a gnome, because it is Ivy's father.
Oh, gnome, not a. Oh, so gnome.
Gnome, dwarf,
They all look
human,
alike,
drow.
Yes.
Okay. So Ivy's father. Do we know what happened? He just disappeared. Like he left, right?
Yes.
Never.
Yeah, left. Ivy's mother in Fast Revolt, wasn't seen again.
Yeah. Is that long ago? No, it couldn't have been so long ago that he might no longer be alive from age and all that. So
yeah, because Ivy's about as old as Fergus.
Yeah.
And you.
So I want.
And
yeah. All right. So I want to take a moment to consider. So just their reactions to this, just because one of them joined to activate this, presumably. One avoided it, one built an army to, fight it, and one went mad trying to contain the secret. I'm just wondering. I don't know. I'm just musing at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
I'm just wondering why she would join.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it was implied that their minds were being basically dominated by whatever force they opened up the door with.
Right.
And that is also the one that's kind of consciousness is fused with this blue dragon that was dead at one point.
Okay. Like I said, it could just be me overthinking. I was just trying to see if that was a puzzle that pieces were coming together. It was just me recalling.
Caliburb theorized when he told you the story that the aura of madness that dwells around the avatars accentuated pre-existing personality traits.
Okay.
Bandrak's desire to handle a problem head on.
Okay.
I'm spacing on the gnome's name. I had it written down somewhere. Ollie, that's right. Oleander, or Ollie for short, to avoid an issue. He's the rogue. Firana was the cleric. So her deal was devotion. And of course, Caliburb was a somewhat eccentric wizard.
Okay. That's good to know. Sorry, maybe that was just a lore dump, but I'm glad to be reminded of that.
Problem.
Thank you.
It's something I addressed before, so nothing wrong with covering ground again.
Yeah. It could have been just in character because now he's there and they've been through the memory and all that stuff. So yeah. All right. Sorry for that Naruto style flashback.
No worries.
I assume we're going down deeper, rather than going off to the parapets at the moment.
Yeah.
Look, if it were a Naruto style flashback, we would just be playing 30 minutes of the last episode right now.
Yeah.
Question: is this where the copper tube ends, or does it keep delving deeper?
It looks like it breaks off from here, but then it delves deeper.
So,
Like it broke out into like several other pipes, and then they all go deeper.
But there's an opening here.
There's a doorway that seems to lead further down. He said.
Further down into the ground, but there isn't. The pipe does open here.
There's like if you ever look up in like an industrial warehouse, you know how you can sometimes see the pipes of the sprinkler system.
Yeah,
it's a lot like break off and spread out.
Yeah,
like a spider
they break off, but there's not an opening into the pipe here.
Yeah, in warehouses, not in the public school system. You would never see something like that in a classroom.
Listen, I have absolutely no shame in admitting this, Michael. I spend more time in warehouses than in children's schools. So that's my frame of reference.
Cope, to answer your question, I'm pretty sure they all just keep going down. They just spread off into more pipes.
Got it. Just making sure there isn't a way to like enter the pipe here.
I don't think
there
we
is
want
some-
to enter the pipe.
There are some smaller pipes that do break off that look like they were like over some tables, but the small pipes are maybe half an inch in diameter opening at best. So you can't
Oh.
get into it.
Have any of us like touched the pipe to see if there's any vibrations from stuff moving through it, or
I'm just worried anything we do with the pipe and anything we do with the off sections are going to alert whoever's downstairs, because there's a chance we might get a drop on them if we head directly to whoever's
I
in
agree.
charge.
I'm not saying we take a swing at it or anything. I'm saying we just
Well,
Yeah, that
See if we
that
could-
was my wonder, is if it's like a tunnel system, if there was a gate here to enter the pipe, because I thought it was 4 feet wide. I didn't know it was so much smaller. I thought we could enter and drop down further.
like I think the
and
main pipe was
jump
wider,
on
but
them.
then it brought into smaller pipes. But it's a pipe. There's going to be something going
Yeah.
through it. We're not going to climb into it and swim through whatever it is to go into these other pipes.
How big was the big pipe?
Probably about in 4 feet in diameter.
Significant.
But again,
But
we're not
that's
going into the
way
pipe.
tiny.
no.
You didn't see any entrances or anything like that. There was like
Got it.
a rung
I
ladder
didn't know if
attached
we
to
were
the side.
dealing with like Super Mario World pipe systems here.
Oh my
because
God,
4
we're
feet
not-
wide, it
we're
sure
not
as
in
hell
Super
could have been a good way.
No,
But
it was a
when
worthy
when it
question,
gets
but
as-
no, it's not what's
So-
going
as
on.
small as
Suddenly the
Somebody get
music
me to-
changes.
No.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
So the trick is, if we jump on top of this block, we can climb over the city, and that's where we find the secret warp pipe to Encephalon.
No, you said I would believe you if we had seen any Goomba in our travels. The only Goombas we saw, we allied with. So if anything, I'm King Koopa, and you're the Koopa kids. Let's keep going.
Oh
The
no!
best character.
We got our Koopa Troopers outside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we literally we paratroop it in.
I'm riding my cart over that bridge, man.
All right, so the vote was to go deeper down.
Oh yeah, through the
Near
doors.
dwarves.
All right. As you open up the doors and you see the same set of spiral staircases going down. It doesn't take a survival check to know that these stairs are a bit more worn, like they've gotten more use. No footprints or anything like that, just normal wear and tear upon the stone. As you guys are all going down, I need everyone to give me a perception check.
Would it be passive perception or perception check?
Perception check.
Okay. It's the same for me either way. If I get the lowest score, but so yeah, it would be 24, not 19.
All right. Haskell, Fergus, you notice something as you're going down these steps. You smell the barest, slightest hint of almonds.
You're having an aneurysm.
I know out of character that almonds, cyanide can smell like almonds. It's a poison. But in character, that's interesting.
And is this something we'd know as dwarven miners from venturing into toxic mines and stuff like that?
None of the rest of you can smell it.
Oh yeah. I was just kind of curious if dwarven mining backgrounds. I mean, Grant, it's never mind. It's Fergus. Never mind.
I mean, Taskell too.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Fergus
No-
would
nothing that
Fergus would smell
nothing that
almonds and be
springs-
like, that's weird.
Luckily,
Nothing that
Taskell
springs to
always
your guys'
carries
mind.
his canary.
nothing that springs to your guys' mind. But you eventually reach the bottom of the stairs, where there is another set of metal doors. You are now all hearing an audible drip, 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 and a distant low moaning sound.
Sorry to interrupt, Could I have a
Mhm.
retcon something? It's not too big of a deal. When we
Sure.
enter the doors to go down to this level, I wanted to put an arcane lock on that door, so
Sure.
only we could open it.
Yeah, makes sense.
just in case they try to get in from behind us.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah. So
One
we
of
get
them
settled.
coming in the back door.
No surprise back shots today. So.
You open up the doors before you.
Yeah. I mean, we're already here.
You open up the doors, and what was perhaps once a storage room, maybe like some sort of Dugar equivalent of an ale cellar. It looks like the walls have been cut, carved, and expanded, maybe by acid or something, into a large room. You see the sizable pipe for you go into a large copper tank. There's multiple, like arteries of a vein, other pipes coming off of this one. You see glass work pipes all around connected to tables. It's a vast space you would need to move out and explore, but you see tables, cages, blood-stained operating theaters. You see what looks like smelters, forges. But the other thing that you notice is that there is maybe a foot of what looks like kind of murky water on the bottom of the room. You got like 2 steps down, and then you would be in it.
Is the smell stronger in this room?
Barely.
And I would say I pull out a cup or something out of my magic storage hat that I have, and scoop up some of the water. Can I do like an alchemist check on this? See
Sure.
if there's anything special about the water.
Alchemist
We're dealing with the
intelligence.
mad scientist, so that should be 4 higher, so 19.
Yes, this would definitely have taken an alchemist check because it's not naturally occurring in nature. You're holding a cup of liquid cyanide.
Lovely. Well,
Poison mass
gentlemen,
production.
this is just a big pool of poison.
Is it something we're okay to be this close to?
I know. Would I know if it have to be ingested, or is it?
It
something?
traditionally has to be ingested. Being around the fumes of it of this much can be hazardous, but you guys are dwarves and you're naturally resistant to poisons. Ingesting small amounts of cyanide would just straight up not hurt a dwarf.
Thrum, do you detect any or elves in this room? So there were some deeper down, so
I'm
I'm not sure how many times you could use the primeval.
It's infinite.
Okay.
This is horribly inefficient. You want to use something odorless like arsenic.
He'd take a moment to focus and see if he can pinpoint the group he had pinpointed earlier, where their location is compared to where they are now versus when they were up above them.
You detect maybe 6 drow or elves, more accurately, in this lower chamber, deeper in.
So out in front of us into the chamber.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, King, I've got about 6 of the drow out ahead of us.
Looks like we might have to wade into this god awful water.
That's not water, that's poison. Why can't we just head back out the doors we came in and you lock them so that they can't come out?
I mean, it can still be dispelled or broken open. It's not a perfect lock.
Damn it, then somebody could be coming behind us.
Yeah, but we would have time. That's
Your
the whole point
primeval
of it.
awareness also tells you that they haven't moved from the battlements and the towers.
And who knows what else is down here other than elves?
I just really don't want to walk through the poison.
I mean, unless you have water walking.
Do we have the foldable boat?
Boy.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you this point out. It's a foot deep. If everyone gets in the boat will just go into the bottom and go nowhere.
So
All right, fine.
Do we have rain boots?
Oh,
Storm
okay. You're in a
disappears
mech suit,
splash of,
Freya. You're fine.
he disappears in a splash of water and
Actually, yeah,
reappears
the
in
mech could
middle of the
carry us.
cyanide.
Yeah.
I do have a passenger seat.
It's very Freya's suit is very specifically hermetically sealed.
Yeah.
She is in
Milgram,
no
do you want
danger
the
from this
passenger
stuff.
seat? I have pretty strong resistance against poison. I think we all do. I don't know whose con is higher, so I think either me and
And-
Milgram are going to be in the seat.
How,
I think the king
like,
could stay in
what
the seat.
distance does this pool go? Like, how
It
big
looks
was the
like
pool?
it's this entire basement space has a foot of liquid cyanide up the table legs and everything like that. It doesn't strike you as like storage because there's other like chairs and stuff that it seems to be almost at the top of. Unless
Okay.
whoever worked down here was doing all their laboratory work in a foot of liquid cyanide at all times.
Rom just teleports himself out into the middle of the cyanide.
Yeah, I get in the passenger seat of Freya's for now, and we press forward towards where those elves are.
Tally ho.
You begin pressing in. You see the signs of research, mostly alchemy. As I said, tables that have now empty beakers on them, metal slabs that were perhaps operating theaters. You see small stacks of ingots of various metals of property and delicate needle-like tools left in drawers. As you're advancing, sloshing through liquid death, voice rings out through the space. Voice that you're familiar with, of the alchemist, Vadian. He goes, I was wondering how long it would take someone to come here. I am pleased to see it is you, with my contemporary nonetheless. Please, come in. I am always eager to show others the fruits of my work. And though the master's vision is great, I fear he doesn't appreciate what I've been able to do here.
Clearly, you don't appreciate the ethics of a good, clean work environment.
Oh, don't mind the mess. Everyone else had to clear out to get to the central city in a rather hurry. So a few things might have gone splash.
Yes, a few.
Well, they say that one's workshop is a reflection of their mind.
I just high five her mech suit. Sick bird.
This is like nerd banter.
Yep. As you all progress in, the disembodied voice of Vadian
Would
continues. Yeah.
Would I be able to cast fly? Because I would automatically upcast it to 5, so that means I could get me, Taskell, and Thrum.
How long does
flying.
it last? Because maybe hold on to that. Because if it's only a couple minutes,
10 minutes.
I would hold on to it, honestly.
Okay.
Because this seems to be a pretty big room.
Mhm. As
So
you
we're gonna-
walk in,
yeah, go
he continues to talk. Considering that where you entered into this domain, I assume, since I don't make foes of idiots, that you had figured out what we've been quarrying. The god's blood?
Yes, I mean, I imagine you're doing something with it.
No, I thought we were looking for diamonds.
It is a most fascinating substance, isn't it? Formless, shifting, minorly sentient. There is countless
Just like you.
applications for it. I have made many most interesting innovations with it. I do hope I get a chance for you to see them. And I have a few down here. Still, I think my grandest work, well, you'll need to come in a little bit closer to see that. Still, The uses of it in munitions, armor, weapons, mundane but shifting. Imagine someone who can be wearing nothing but a simple bracelet, and then with a snap of their fingers are now wearing a suit to full plate, shield and spear in hand.
Is this a
Combine that
sign
with what?
Fergus would just call out. Is this just
Mhm.
a cyanide mech suit?
No. The cyanide is for something else.
Anyways, yeah, I figured out instant suit transportation a year and a half ago, I think.
Oh, good. It's nice to know that you've tamed the basics. No, the real specialness of the god's blood is its ability to reshape consciousness. Anything that is infused with it can become formless, both physically and metaphysically. It has propelled my work to higher levels.
He's
He
getting
once
high on
asked
this
me,
blood.
my contemporary, how I planned to survive Encephalon's purge of mortality. Well, I now know how. Via my alchemical cloning, I have been a multi-bodied entity for some time. But now I can have multiple forms, should I choose. The god's blood itself can be a vessel. As you guys have entered in, you now see that there are operating slabs, but these ones are occupied. There is 6 drow, or what used to be drow, in various states of surgical reassemblement. One looks like a body of flesh, but is too squishy, like his bones have been replaced by something. Another one is drawn out, nerve endings pulled apart like a circuitry map, ready to be encased upon a steel shell to create one of those quicksilver golems. And another one is lying very still, its head sliced open, hollow cavity of its brain exposed, as if inspections were done in there. I took the habit of leaving out a few of my examples to demonstrate the process. The idea of replacing skeletal structure with God's blood. Promising idea, but it takes a strong will. Those who do not have the ability to hold themselves together tend to crumble into a pile of goo.
Oh, you'll be a pile of goo by the end of this.
Indeed. I've also taken special time to examine intellect devourers and the mind flayers and their connections to consciousness.
Yeah, I'm sure you were the one doing the examining.
Oh, but would you like to see my most prized specimen I keep down here?
For some reason, I think you're going to show me anyways.
Oh, of course. You were kind enough to provide it for me. Magical lights key on, and pained to meat hooks over the pool of cyanide. Corso split open, no blood dripping into the cyanide, is Alexei Valecroft, the vampire who went to go investigate the Druger lab all those years ago, who never came back. Undead with regeneration factors are such fascinating creatures. Usually not to my preference, but they're good for trying multiple methods on. He took to the God's blood bones quite better, though they never stuck. Did you know that vampires can regenerate calcium deposits?
Yeah, I'm not weird, so no.
Half the group is like, the fuck is a calcium?
Do you know the temperature at which bone turns to ash?
I think he does.
Yes, I do. In fact, I think you'll be intimately familiar with that concept in a moment. There's a clink, clunk, and you hear the slashing of
shit.
metal smashing to the
Cyanide.
ground, distant into the room.
Get out of the cyanide. It's flammable.
I am a sporting man, so I'll give you 30 seconds.
Yep.
And do try to get out quickly. It would be a shame for you to die here. But it is as the master wishes. And you hear a hissing and a clicking sound as, yeah, he's going to use the liquid cyanide as a bomb. So I'll bring up some initiative order and move your tokens out of here. You guys will have a limited amount of time to get out of here.
We just waded into kerosene.
And this is why we waited to fly.
All right, I'm just dropping your tokens.
I can fly whenever I want. The suit can just fly. I can't see where my token is.
There we are. I think we're just missing Thrum.
Yeah, it's pulling up. It's the first time I've pulled up my character sheet. Actually, it's not. Why did my character sheet close earlier? Blame the other party.
Mm-hmm. Jesus, and stuff is yeah. I'll just. Oh, I know.
Glad so many of y'all are before me.
All right, one moment. Perfect. All right. So, Fergus, you just got informed that you're standing in a bomb. The vampire that you're tentatively allies with appears to be suspended before you.
What is he
Course of
suspended by?
There appears to be chains connected to the ceiling with meat hooks going through his wrists and ankles.
So, if we're doing a saving maneuver, I do have Vortex Warp, which can just bring him towards us.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, just rip him off those meat hooks.
Well, it will teleport him, so it won't hurt him.
Yeah.
It won't rip him off.
I think that's the best move.
Yeah, an ogre
Yeah,
can fly us, and Freya can do that, and then we can beat feet out of here.
Yep.
All right. So, Fergus, what are you doing? Also, I am keeping the 30 seconds here, so we're going to do this in 6 rounds.
Yeah, I'm just give me 1 second to look at my abilities and stuff.
No problem.
Seeing if I have anything, because I might just be waiting, because once we get fly, it'll go a lot faster, and I can go really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And where is the fire going to come from? And did he have a...
You have no idea.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I wanted to just ask.
So, Fergus, are you going to be able to fly on your own?
Well, Nogrum, I'm pretty sure, is going to cast fly on all of us.
Yeah, because Fergus,
Okay.
you're currently in the seat of the mech.
Yeah.
So I would get out so I can just teleport him into the seat of the mech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll just hop out of the mech suit. That'll be my turn, because I don't have anything to do at the moment.
Okay. Nolgrim.
All right, I'm going to cast fly at. There's 4 of us, so I'm going to upcast it. Am I able to use my Mystic Arcanum as a 6th level spell for this purpose? I'm not sure how it is.
Uh,
Let's see. I guess just to expedite things, I'll go ahead and use my Cloak of Mighty Magic to upcast it.
all right.
Just keep it simple. And that gives fly to me, Fergus, Thrum, and Teskel.
Not for
All
Ed.
right.
And then I am going to start flying towards the exit.
All right. Let's see. So you didn't dash, you just normal moved. So you're probably still a good movement action away from the door that you entered in, but you're close enough that you can see that there is now heavy metal bars that have slid over the door.
Okay. I'd shout back, "They've blocked the door. We're going to need a punch through."
I got it.
Let me see if
Either you or Thrum.
I have the axe of dwarven swords. It does double damage against inanimate objects
Oh,
and structures.
even better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even better.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Freya.
All right. So going to vortex warp Alexi into the passenger seat.
Yep. Unconscious creatures don't get a saving throw, so it just happens.
And then I will move 40 feet towards the exit with a fly.
Excellent. Yep. You see the same thing that Nolgrim did. Drum.
All right, Thrum's going to speed towards the gates because the Scalebane axe also does double damage against inanimate objects or structures.
You're roughly, I'm going to say, like 2 movements from the door. So if you can teleport faster than your speed, you can get an attack. Otherwise, it's just going to be your entire turn to run there.
If by movements, do you mean 30 feet to 30 feet?
Essentially, yes. They're kind of doing cinematic time right now, but
Yeah. Bear with me 1 moment. Okay, teleport's only 30 feet, so he would have to double, and he can only do it once a round, so he would have to just double move
all right.
to get there. Or charge is 60 feet, right?
I don't think we do charge in this system.
Yeah, it's not 5th edition.
Oh, okay.
Or it is 5th edition. It's not Pathfinder, so no charging. But yes, you can double move and you can get there.
All right, he'll double move and be there for next round.
All right. Pascal.
Someone needs to put a clip of Gombo saying this is 5th edition, not Pathfinder from the first episode, next to that one right there.
So, one action. Touch it. If I can get over to the door, I can just kind of, mold the wall away from the bars so I can squeeze through.
Right. It's still going to take probably a movement and a dash just to reach touching distance of the door, though.
So that's my round then, is getting over there.
All right. Top of the round before Fergus takes your action. You guys hear a bloop, 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 and then a rushing of liquid as from many of the copper pipes that have been extended over this lab, like a fire suppression system spray that's just shooting out more cyanide starts coming down, and the water level of cyanide begins to rise. So you're looking at difficult terrain in this floor unless you guys fly, which you guys can fly. But everyone give me an advantaged Constitution saving throw.
Who would be
Except for
close enough to
Freya.
me? Who would be close enough to me to get a +5? To
I'm still pretty close to you. Oh wait, you moved, so I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
oh,
think
yeah, that's
everyone
true.
except for Fergus and Freya. Freya doesn't have to roll anyway.
Yeah. Double 12.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so Fergus, Nilgrim, and Thrum are fine. Obviously, Freya's fine in her hermetically sealed suit. So you will take half of this taskle because it is poison damage. So 10 points of poison damage as liquid cyanide gets into your beard.
Not the beard.
But now it's back to Fergus's turn.
Okay, so how after a movement action, how far is the door away from us? Just a single movement?
Oh
Second
yeah, like a single
30.
movement, so roughly 30, 25 feet, something around there.
Okay, so I'll bonus action and get right to the door.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna start swinging with my dwarf axe.
All right, give me an attack roll. That'll
The damage
hit.
would be doubled because it's
Doubled. So that's 30. That will be enough to both bypass hardness and smash a hole large enough for people to start squeezing through.
Gotcha.
What about the mech? Freya's mech?
Yeah, she'll be able to get through there.
Okay. All right.
It's full anime where like Fergus goes up there with the axe in
Yeah.
both hands and just goes along the bottom, goes cling, 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 and then he whips it around and he goes the other one and he gets the other ones up top and they all just kind of fall down.
Perfect. Okay. Just want to make sure because you said squeeze through. I'm like, okay, if we're squeezing through.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen,
good to know.
I'm
I
off the
appreciate
cuffing this.
Yep. No, you're doing great. I'm just looking.
Mhm.
This was just a request for clarity.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, Nilgrim.
I'm gonna lead the way and start making my way up.
All right, one moment. Ba-ba-ba.
Actually, yeah. Before I start going up, I would like to cast True Seeing on myself because I realize that's not a concentration spell. So
yeah,
I'll do that, and then I will use my movement to start making my way up.
All right, so before you use your movement, since you cast True Seeing on yourself, this is not something that Thrum would have noticed with his True Sight because it was not active when you guys came down. But there was a finite pulse of energy that went through the walls. And though it would normally be invisible, your True Sight can see it. Tiny strands of that god's blood that had formed into multiple glyphs along the floors, ceilings, and stairs and walls of the entire stairs going back up. Give me an Arcana check.
18.
There is about 3 dozen glyphs of warding in the stairs now.
Okay. Do I get the impression that is it a matter of stepping on it, or can I like fly around it?
Let me see what the range on explosive runes are. Yeah, it looks like each one is triggered like a landmine within a 10-foot diameter of where it's placed.
Okay. Is there a zone where we'd be able to fly?
Yeah, you just have to fly up
the.
the center of the hallway. Your flight spell is helping out a lot in that regard.
Okay, now I'll shout back to everybody. All right,
Mhm.
These halls are designed to explode if we step on any surface. Fly down the center, maybe even get too close to the surface. Fly down the center as close as you can and be cautious.
Aw, says Vadian over a magical intercom. Way to ruin all my fun there.
I'm having the time of my life, so.
Mm. All right. You're gonna just fly down the center of the hallway?
Yes.
All
And
right. So
keeping an eye out for more of those.
Those runes, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not in the air, thankfully, so you're able to avoid them.
Mm.
One more movement and you'll reach the top of the stairs. Freya.
All right. Full moving out of here then.
All right.
That'll be 80 feet.
Oh yeah, you're able to reach the top of the stairs. You can fly, so you're able to avoid the glyphs of warding, and you find another set of iron bars over the door above.
Okay.
From
Follow Freya, and he can fly 60. I don't think
All
he'll
right.
reach the other doors.
Yeah, you'll be within range at the end of your turn, but nothing yet.
The second verse, same as the first for me as well, man.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, it would have been exciting if you guys hadn't cast fly on yourself.
It would have been
And
explosive.
true scene.
Yeah, flying and true scene. Listen, I like death traps, guys.
Yeah, no, it was.
Hey, when
very
it works on me,
clever.
I'm literally just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm glad Nolgrim,
Mhm.
had that foresight of, there's probably more going on here. So,
Mhm. All right. So top of the round, the cyanide water level is rising. It has now begun reaching the stairs where the glyphs of warding are. You all who are up at the top door at the top of the stair that is sealed, there's a burbling sound as you see, not like a gushing amount, but a small amount of cyanide leaking underneath the crack of the door. Like it's coming down from inside as well.
Hmm.
And you hear Vadiant and go, let's see, eeny, miny, this one. And there's a crap pop and a hiss as green gas begins to fill the hallway. Everyone give me let's call this a Constitution saving throw. This is not poison. It's actually acidic gas. So Freya, roll for your armor.
and who all
Same
would
as
be
this
within
Constitution.
5?
I believe that would be
Or
everyone
anybody,
except for
anybody within 10, I mean.
I think
it's
I'm not there yet because
Yeah,
my
I
turn
think-
ended with me breaking down the door.
yes.
So anybody close enough gets 5 to it.
Okay. So
Uh,
19.
Okay, yeah, that saves Taskell. All right, so you guys will take.
It'll be a 21 with a flash of genius. I had advantage on, but it wasn't supposed to be, so I'll do the 16 because it was the
Gotcha.
first one.
All right, then you're good. So take half of 18 in acid damage. You're going to take something from acidic gas.
All right, so temporary hit points down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at a smooth 200 with my 10 hit points.
Oof.
So,
All right, Fergus, your turn.
Making a beeline straight to that door with my bonus action, and probably just opening it because I can't imagine we're just trying to stay in that chamber. So
It is locked with bars.
okay, so I'll make that attack again.
All right.
So Axe of the Lords. So that'll be 26.
That is exactly 4 points of damage shy of what you needed.
Okay, well I will do it again.
All right.
That will not go through, so I'm going to action surge and do it again.
Okay.
Still not.
No, that it does enough. That's enough to get past the hardness because there's hardness and then the damage threshold and then
Gotcha.
there's
I forgot
hit
about that.
points. Yeah, so that last third attack was enough to get through the rest of the way as you frantically hack away the bars. Alrighty then. Is there anything else? Did you want to open the door or?
Yeah, probably because again we're stuck in this room and there's more traps, so I have
Mhm.
some more movement speed, so I can open the door and at least step out a couple feet.
Yep. You open the door into the hallway before where all the banners are. The banners are now soaked, as much like my analogy of a sprinkler system. Cyanide has been shooting out of all the little copper pipes, spraying this place down in flammable toxic liquid. However, at the far end of the hallway, exactly opposite the door, you see something. A pair of doors that once led to one of the towers has been opened. And in there, you see what looks like a cannon that has 3 kind of flayed drow, dead-eyed, surgically attached to it. And they are going to fire the cannon at you, Fergus.
Sons of a bitch.
12.
That'll miss.
You throw yourself flat on the deck as the sparking cannonball goes down and goes ping, ping, ping down the hallway. You hear the glyphs of warding go off as explosions of electricity and cold. And then a swoosh as the cannonball goes in. Zavidian speaks again. I'll let you in on a little secret. All my cannonballs have delayed explosive triggers. "15 seconds left. Nilgrim, it's your turn.
Not a secret if you tell everyone.
We don't have to go past the cannon, guys, right? We could keep going up.
You can
I mean,
keep
there's also
going
a
up.
door out, so.
Yeah, or you can try to go for the main gate.
What do you guys think?
I think you said there was a door that goes. You said there was a door in this room that goes to the back, that goes out into like the open back door area.
Yeah, if you guys look over here, there's the main courtyard area, like the main gate into the keep.
Yeah, I feel like going to the courtyard will be the fastest way out of here, and we have limited time.
Okay.
But he's probably trying to lead us there anyway, so either way.
Pick King.
Closest way out. We can deal with him. He's a chump.
Go up, up, up.
He literally is trying to trap us because he can't handle us himself.
So that's the courtyard?
Yes.
Okay. Going that way.
This whole place is gonna explode.
Bluey.
All right, it takes only 1 movement action to get from the door to the large central that was the front gate.
Was the front gate?
It is the front gate.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm rapidly thinking about stuff right now.
Yeah, you're good.
So you, as you're going, you hear the clunk clunk of the slightly zombified drow reloading the cannon.
Okay.
You reach the doors to the gate, and you're probably not surprised that you see that on the other side of the heavy metal gate doors there is a sealed portcullis.
As I need on the other side of the gate, like the portcullis isn't on this side.
Okay, so there's like the swinging doors,
Yes.
and then on the other side it's a grid of metal directly blocking you from getting into the courtyard.
Okay. So we need to cut through that.
Mhm.
Do I still have line of sight on the cannon?
Yeah, I'll say yes.
All right, then I think I'll fire some Eldritch Blasts at him at that to just try to shut it down.
Sure. Give me an attack roll.
Let me see. Our current level is 18?
Yes.
Okay, so I get 4 beams.
Yeah, there's 3 drow, so you can shoot 1 at each.
Yep.
I'll warn you, their AC is not very high. So that'll hit. That'll hit. And that'll hit. So you blow each of the slightly zombified drow gunners to pieces with Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. I think that'll be my turn. I'll shout back. There's a portcullis.
You don't have to call it names.
Freya.
So it's like barred off. We need to open it up. Is the idea?
Yeah, you can get there in 1 movement.
Okay,
So-
I'll move over there, And then I will a statue of
It
myself and
takes-
put it in my pocket.
It takes 10 minutes to cast.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. Fabricate.
Yeah, it's
I wish there was a
unfortunate.
shorter cast, like less
Yeah.
big version
Mhm.
of the spell, because it's
Well,
I want to use it basically like stone shape here, but I don't have stone shape.
Yeah, no, I went to that one first for the first set of bars. But then it's like, wow, 10 minutes. Okay, that's out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always forget that it's 10 minutes with that spell.
Yeah.
Right,
But
for a
I'll
10-minute spell if you look at the area.
I know. Is there anything else you want to do instead?
Would your mech be able to potentially lift it up?
You could try. Would that be like just like a strength?
That would be an athletics, which is strength based for your suit.
Or you could get ready and you and Thrum could try to lift it together. Or smash it, either way. And you're both next on initiative.
Thrum and I both have axes that can just demolish through these.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
I mean, you can try something else too. In addition, it doesn't hurt. But I know me and Thrum are basically the bar smashers.
Alright. I'll give it a try lifting it up, but no,
I mean-
I rolled an 8.
Give me a perception check as you do that there.
Perception. Well, rolling thunder tonight, boy.
All right. Your suit takes 8 lightning damage, as when you make physical contact with a portcullis, you are electrified. Make a dexterity saving throw for your suit.
Probably a +5 to it because
Oh,
we're
yep,
both
with
at the
plus
gate.
5. All right, good thing. You avoid the electricity igniting the cyanide coating your suit, so you do not burst into flames.
Oh,
Fun stuff.
All right, Drum.
all right.
Fanboy is
he'll
grounded.
range And hit the bars.
All right, give me an attack roll.
He is not going to grab them in order to add grapple damage.
Come on, you can take the pain. That'll hit.
So 32 damage,
All right.
and it bypasses all resistance.
Yes. That's big enough for a medium creature to get through, but not Freya's suit. It's going to need another good whack of that level to get through. It's more than the other ones.
Whack-a-mole, 22 damage.
22 damage. Still not quite there yet.
Oh, how many attacks do we have at this level?
2.
2. Either way.
Can I hit it with my chains?
Sure.
But they're not special, so I don't know that they will do much damage.
You get a high roll.
11 damage from the chains.
That does bypass the hardness, but it's not enough hit points. It's got a hardness of 10, so basically the next hit that goes over 10 will be able to make it a hole
Well,
big
I mean-
enough for
I mean,
Freya
the
to
good thing
get out of.
is, yeah, the good thing is Fergus is up
Mhm.
before Freya, so
Oh,
Either way.
That's true.
That's
so
36.
Throne could move on through, right?
Yes.
Yep. So he'll
But
take-
real quick first, you take 38 points of lightning damage from striking the bars.
oh god, because the chain.
And the weapon is metal.
Yeah, let's see. That's the one.
at least you're a
element
regent.
I'm not resistant to.
Right.
I'm resistant
Lightning.
to fire, acid, cold, poison, and physical.
Yes,
But
it
not
is unfortunately
electricity or sonic.
lightning damage.
Yep. All right. So, I can soak.
So
We live
It's like
underground. Why would I need to be immune to lightning?
Because the cloud giants.
I guess I get to finally shape some stone.
Mm.
Try to make the hole wider for the thing.
Sure.
Not counting that we kind of communicated that.
Mm.
Heavy cast
Uh,
spiritual weapon.
You said you moved through the hole, Thrum?
Yes.
All right. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. He's raging, so it's at advantage, I believe.
Ah, man, you're lucky you got stacked saves. So as you step through, raging, you hear a pop, hiss, and you do a dive roll forward as hidden canisters around the edge of the door deploy a web spell over the door, and you got to the other side of it without getting stuck.
Nice. Barbarian, for to win.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the opening covered by webbing?
Yeah.
Okay. Taskal, can you do something about that? That doesn't involve fire.
I know
Oh, yeah.
fire.
You can
You're
just cut
immune to
webbing. So.
You're immune to fire damage, aren't you, Thrum?
Yes. No,
Okay,
he's
so
resistant.
whether or not you're on fire due to the cyanide catching ablaze is kind of irrelevant at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I have several fire options, but not so many non-fire options.
Spiritual weapon to cut it open, then won't have to worry about us getting caught in it potentially.
Got a, what was it, stone shape?
Well, that was the plan until the web, but if that'll still clear enough space to get around the web.
What if you did a stone shape, like stone the ground into like an archway, so the web that's attached to it stays above it, and we create a hole underneath?
It's an option, I guess. It is a
Yeah.
No. Taskal, clear the web so you can get through. Fergus can open the hole bigger and he can get through. And
That's
that
what
way-
we're saying.
Mhm.
That's what we're saying. That's why we're doing stone shape, to move the web out of the way.
I missed that part.
Mhm.
Because if it's attached to stone, we could just move the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my job here is done. Thrum lights
All
a
right.
cigarette and throws the match down.
So are you going? You're going to stone shape the floor into an arch to kind of push the webs to the side so you can get through.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to probably open the portcullis more to get Freya through. But
Yes, but you can absolutely do that even without the portcullis being chipped through.
Thrum lights a cigarette and his whole body ignites.
Turns around like that Christmas Vacation movie,
Mhm.
blazing fire on his back. What are you staring at?
All right.
And do you go through, Taskal, or do you just...
Well, oh yeah.
Uh,
Do you go through?
I think I had to move up to get there. But
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, you can move after if you had movement, but I wasn't sure how big the room is. So either way,
Either way, you're at the portcullis. The webs have been dealt with. Fergus. Well, before it's Fergus's turn, you all feel the ground shake as the cannonball that was fired down into the hallway into the lab detonates. You then feel a gush of hot air that makes you cough even through your dwarven fortitude. The entire structure begins shaking violently. Sorry. Vadian's disembodied voice. Oh, I would give it another 10 seconds before the primary powder kegs I buried detonate. But I think this first explosion will be a good appetizer. Everyone
Fergus,
give
are you
me
immune to fire?
a dexterity saving throw, as there is a gush of fire that shoots out from...
whoever's within 10 of...
resistant to
Okay.
fire.
does Thrum have to make it since he's outside?
Well, from... Yes, he would, but he's
Okay.
immune to fire damage, so
Okay.
it's kind of...
No,
moot.
I'm resistant right now. I'm not immolated.
Oh, okay. I think we just need one from Freya.
Fursuit.
God damn it, there's another shit. Never mind. Okay, I'll roll it.
All right. So everyone who got 20 or over takes half of this. Ooh, wow, I rolled low. Fire damage.
No, I'm into my normal
Fire
HP. That
axe?
actually hurt me. How dare you?
Yay for resistance to fire.
No one
Yeah,
makes
it's
me bleed
20.
my own blood.
It's 23 temp HP, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking 10 HP.
Listen, I chose that feat strategically.
It's
Okay.
it's
Oh, yeah.
good. It's good.
So many death traps. All right. So now a lot of the liquid cyanide guessing down is on fire, filling the air with fumes. It is technically obscured now, but I don't think that's at a point that's going to be bothering most of you guys inside. But it is Fergus' turn. Excuse me.
Okay. So it's not like obscured where we're going to take disadvantage on attacks or ranged weapons or anything, or is it?
No, it's like deeper in. You're at portals where the air is gushing
Okay.
out, so you can.
Because I've seen the thing electrified. I'm going to throw my axe since it can come back to me at each attack, and it gets bonus damage. So
Creative.
I'm not going to put
You
on
just
my
boomeranged.
sharpshooter always fucks up on the attack modifiers and stuff, and it makes it so the damage doesn't show up. So I'm just going to roll it without the sharpshooter, but it's going to be -5 to hit, plus 10 to the damage.
All right. All right, that hits, and that is more than enough to finish
Yeah,
off the
that's like
portcullis.
28 times 2.
You throw your axe like end over end, like Thor's hammer, and it smashes into the portcullis, and the entire thing just comes off and flies over Thrum and smashes it to the ground.
Or
That's how
I
you make a
guess,
scene.
considering more recent development, Thor's axe.
Yeah, Thor's axe.
He's got an axe now, I guess.
As the portcullis flies, you all see this. Thrum would have probably also seen this with his true sight, because he has that. As the portcullis
And
flies
Novum.
and skids into the courtyard beyond, where you can see just in the distance, because it's a courtyard with walls on each side and then a normal arch that leads out just down past. But as the portcullis wreckage flies and skids, it hits stuff that's invisible as it triggers multiple invisible bear traps that are scattered across the courtyard. Low damage, but they would hold you in place. And anyone with true seeing can see them.
And I haven't really used any of my movement, so movement and bonus, I'm 60 feet out and in the air. I'm not going to land on the ground right now.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm going to stay like 20 feet off the ground for now.
As you advance out into the courtyard away from the arch where Thrum is, you do see along the walls on each side there are 3 more cannons. So I'm going to do 3 attack rolls against Fergus.
You just hear Fergus in the air, motherfucker!
2 of those might have hit.
I'm going to use my superiority die to try to make that second one miss at least.
All right.
So that's a D8. Add to my AC. That will make the second one miss as well.
All right.
But yeah, the third one will hit me.
All right.
Face full of buckshot.
And this is just bludgeoning damage. Or you know what? I like that idea that you said a buckshot. So I'm going to retcon it to say they're loaded with grape shot. So this is slashing damage.
This is dwarf shot.
Good news is, by using my superiority, it does reduce the damage by half. Oh wait, no, that was the one that made it miss. So that would have helped that one, but no. Okay, I take it to the face. That's just like a plethora of shards of metal.
Do you have uncanny dodge?
Uncanny dodge is a reaction. I already used my reaction to add my superiority die.
Gotcha.
Wait. What did you get? What did you get? What was the margin you got hit by?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got like a
It's like 9 more than what I have for my AC right now.
okay, yeah, I can cast shield, but that would only give you 4.
And I think shield is a self-only spell anyway.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm
Oh, I
alive.
see it is.
Yep.
All right.
Pilgrim.
I'd also
So-
disagree with that. Shield should probably not be a self-only.
Out of curiosity,
Mhm.
because you're saying that flames are trying to
Mhm.
catch, are any within 30 that would be affected by frostband? If I could just draw and extinguish.
Yeah,
Or-
sure, absolutely.
Okay, I'll do that to try and buy us a bit more time, or at least slow whatever
Mhm.
volatility is happening behind us. And then I'm going to fly out and fire another round of Eldritch Blast at
One of the cannons.
yeah.
All right.
Actually, let me see.
Three of the cannons will get their prepared attack against you because there's 6 total.
Oh,
So-
okay, good to know.
So 1, 2, 3. Well, one of them might hit.
The 23 would hit, yes.
All right.
36. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. So 26 left over from me.
Sorry, Cope.
He's about to piss in our quarry. He had to go.
Right. All right. Still up. Let me double check if I want
Now
to.
you can do your attacks.
Yep, for sure.
I'll just tell you point blank that each of these drow manning the cannon, there's 3 drow per that are fused with it. They've only got an AC of 10 and 5 hit points.
Right. Yeah, I'll just, because I don't think I have anything of wide enough range to hit multiple. So I think I'll
Mhm.
focus on taking out one of the cannons, and then having the other go towards. Do I get the impression they'd still function fine if there's just one of them? Like if I
You
Took
get
out
the
2.
impression that they'd reload slower.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah, I'll try to take out one and slow another. So that's 4 Eldritch Blasts. 1.
Okay.
2.
All right.
3.
Okie dokie.
And if all 3 of those are dead, I'm going to move on to another.
Yeah, they all are. As I said,
Okay.
AC 10, 5 hit points.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And anything with a bonus action? I don't think I have anything else. Okay. Actually, would a Curse Spectre work?
I think you need to have a grudge on someone, don't you?
No, for
And you can do that.
okay. So on the one that was still had 2 surviving.
Yeah, we'll just say that entire cannon's taken out. We'll just
Okay.
bridge
Perfect.
it. It's not hard for your Spectre to start taking heads. So
Yeah. Perfect. All right. That works for me.
all right.
And if I could just flavor it, from the corpse of the, or the mutilated elf comes one of the spirits that Nolgrim perpetually sees, drawing onto what last bit of life force was leaving it, and proceeding to make short work of the other 2.
Oh yeah.
So what's in between me and getting out of here right now?
Open courtyard space. It'll be a double move, and you'll reach the opposing arch, and then it's just a simple 5-foot bump, and you're technically out of the fort. All the cannons have fired. You can fly over the bear traps.
Yep. I'm leaving.
All right. As you reach the arch, Zavadin's voice, and one more for the road. Freya, give me a dexterity saving throw for your suit.
Well, that's a 2.
All right.
I
So what
can't
you see within concealed slots in the cobblestone on the other side of the opposing arch, shooting out is lengthwise is about a 8-foot in diameter whirling saw blade that comes coming out and goes skipping past you like a wheel, slicing to your suit. So you will take 28 slashing damage to your suit. And the rest of you see this happen as the saw blade, unguided, kind of swerves and just embeds itself in a wall in the courtyard.
Freaking saw blade being a deck save and not an attack. Crazy.
But if Pope is back, it is now Thrum's turn.
He is back.
All right.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
It's so cold in here. I've got a hood on, and talking through my earpiece, I didn't know if that would muffle it. But Thrum will shoot up into the sky, Rocket Man style.
Ah, smart. Yep. I ain't got any traps up there.
So Thrum sits down and pulls out his heroin, and he, as he said, shoots up.
Pop it away. Taskell.
Yeah, I'm also going up because it's a lot harder to trap the air.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Well,
there's
that's what the
possibility of
cannons
trap.
were for.
And Taskell brought the spoon, baby.
All right. Fergus.
I'm gonna swap to my bow.
Mhm.
Try to take out some more of these cannons.
All right. Also,
So-
remember this is the last round. So at the end of this entire place goes boom.
I have bonus action movement and everything. I should
Gotcha.
be fine for that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Just gonna take a couple shots at one of them.
Mhm.
Whichever one's closest to me.
Yeah. There's 4 still in operation. So effectively, if you just hit it 3 times, you'll just take it out.
Although,
And
since
these will all be-
it slows their reload, you can always just divide them up either way.
And I'll just shoot the closest one for me.
Alright.
It's
Can
gonna be
we
minus 5
grab
to
a
hit,
cannon?
plus 10 to, actually I don't need to do that. These guys are weak, so just gonna
Mhm.
shoot two
Yep.
times.
I'll take out one of them. I'll take out another.
And I'm just going to not shoot straight up, but like an arc pattern away from the building.
Yep. Makes
So
sense.
60 feet in an arc towards the opposite direction.
Okay. So let me just do this. So that's 3 cannons. All right. 2 of the cannons managed to get reloaded. And I'm gonna fire 1 at Thrum, 1 at Taskell. First up Thrum,
Oh,
and then Taskell. I know that's gonna miss Taskell.
Hey, it's been a running joke the
Mhm.
entire campaign about his aces.
Taskell, you feel small bits of metal bounce harmlessly off of your shiny metal ass. 16 enough to hit Thrum?
nope.
All right, so the shot just goes wide. Nolgrim.
Now I picture Task with the voice of Bender.
Yeah, Nolgrim's going to use his move. Would it be move and action dash to get caught up with
Everyone
Fergus?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was hoping to get him with a dimension door, but I'll just follow. Actually,
Like ideally, I'm like 80 feet away from the building.
Yeah.
currently,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll just dimension door away.
Alright.
Yeah. Because if anybody was within reach of me of
Mhm.
30 feet, I would have taken with.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no one's that close.
Okay, then yeah,
I mean,
dimension
we can
door.
fly pretty fast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Like I said, if anybody
Alright.
could come with me, I'll take him. But
I mean, you
otherwise,
can just turn back, grab Taskell, and then teleport away. Because 30 feet will probably get you close to him, wouldn't it? Because he's just in the door or out the door. I don't know.
That's true, and you can still dimension door as far away as you need to.
like I said, if I was within range of anybody, I'd grab them
Yeah.
and
Yeah, because
help her
Taskel's
away.
already up in the air.
So
What about Freya?
Well, so is
She
Nolgrim.
stuck over the arch.
She's
But-
over at the opposite. Either way, are you? It's like the last round. Are you escaping?
I-
we don't need to hash
yes,
out.
like I said, I'm using Dimension Door. If I could take anybody with me, I will.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Okay, that's fine.
Right. Freya, you survived the last trap. You just gonna continue out that way?
Looking behind, actually, yeah, I'm just going to escape.
All right. Yeah. You're clear. From my I assume that you could just continue to put distance.
Onward, upward, higher and higher.
All right. Pascal, you doing the same?
Mm-hmm. Although probably angling more than straight up.
Mhm.
Now that I'm clear of the courtyard.
All right. As you all are getting clear of the courtyard area, probably from your guys' perspective, it's just a loud sound, everything goes quiet, and the next thing you know, you're pulling yourself off the ground. But what we see is that the entire fort and the entire hill section it's on just full explodes in a massive fireball debris getting shot in the air. You all get clear. You probably take some superficial damage, but you're just shoved by the concussive force of the blast that would probably, like, if we were in mechanic terms, stun you for like a minute, even with a good save, just because, a building exploded behind you.
Mhm.
Just a lot of ringing in the ears
Mushroom?
for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Mushroom
No,
cloud?
not a mushroom. It's not nuclear. It's just a fuck ton of gunpowder and cyanide. But for context, this is the damage you all avoided.
Yay!
I mean, it wouldn't have outright killed me. I'd just be dying.
Yeah.
I'd be negative 10 hit points.
Hey, if we got out there without taking any damage and then we took that damage, I would have survived with my 10 hit points.
Yep.
Mhm.
I like to think that now it's just becoming a thing of anywhere we go results in explosion when we leave, especially towers, because the whole
Yeah.
army will
This
probably.
is
Is
the
this
only
anything
time
else
we
from
didn't get to
raiding
walk away.
dwarves?
Everybody? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Say what you want.
I'm going to take a
Balls.
bio real quick,
Yeah,
and then we'll
I'll-
get into the aftermath of this.
Yeah, I peed for like 2 minutes then.
Did you say you peed for like 2 minutes?
No, I'd never say anything like that.
I think that's just you getting older, losing the prostate control there, Cope.
Look, if you want to question my velocity, I'll leave the mic on accidentally again.
no, I believe you piss like a king.
Please, no. Whatever you do.
Oh, this racehorse is named Johnny.
You piss like Joe Rogan. You can hear it on the mic 15 feet away.
Would that have been fire damage or?
Yeah, I think fire damage.
So yeah, I could have survived. I've been in bad shape, but
Yeah, I think any of us would have survived it. Especially, most of us have some sort of fire resistance or immunity. If I was
Yeah,
there on
so-
the last round and I wasn't going to be able to get out, I was going to put protection from energy on myself.
keep forgetting about this one. Oh wait, yeah, no, I do keep forgetting about that one. Immune to fire.
Yeah, you're good.
But I was gonna say I keep forgetting the resistance to magical physical damage.
I'm back.
Yes, I've realized I keep forgetting I'm immune to fire damage. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I guess would that 226 have just been fire damage? Because otherwise, Tasco could have just stood there and took it like a
Oh
champ.
no, that would have been force.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big person who says explosive weapons in D&D should do force damage, not fire damage, because it's not the fireball that gets you, it's the concussive force of the air being displaced.
Yeah, at the very least, split.
Who told you that? Some kind of liberal? You need should actually do slashing damage of all the shrapnel.
Listen, I don't want to hear this from Mr. Fall damage over there.
Mm-hmm.
Full
Is everyone
damage of
back?
Pathfinder is fucking ridiculous.
It is.
A fucking random. I don't want to get into it. Random fucking guard should not be able to survive falling 90 feet.
Yeah, it's the abstraction of hit points. I mean, a 10-foot fall has a decent chance of killing level 1 character, but
I understand that this is a magical universe, magical rules, but this is not a magical guard, and he just fell 90 feet out of the air.
I think their fallacy was that it was static per every 10 hit point or 10 feet in the air. It should have been 10 feet is 1d6. 20 feet is like 4d6, and then just make up numbers after that so that if you fall from 100 feet, you die.
Well, at some
it never
point,
came up in the
you hit terminal
game
velocity.
yeah, never came up in the game we were playing with my house rules.
1.86
It's
meters.
part of why I did that split hit point system.
Mhm.
Fall damage would go straight to lethal.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff do that as well. Are we all back?
Yeah,
Perhaps.
Loki? Perhaps not Loki.
He's still in the shitter.
Mm-hmm. Doing the Lord's work.
Oh, this is not going to be funny because y'all weren't there, and I'm going to tell it anyway. But 3 times now, outside of my work, 2 men have moved a giant headpiece. What's it called? A mount of like a deer that you put on the wall. But of
Oh
a
yeah,
bull.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bull head.
like a
On
taxidermy head.
Yeah, on a mount with giant longhorn horns, and it's just a giant bull, and they have moved it. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. And they moved it like a month ago, and then they moved it again a couple of weeks ago, and then they moved it again today. And I happened to walk by in front of my peers as they were moving it, and I turned and I said, well, they're shifting the bull again.
Is their last name fucking Atreides? Why do they have a bull head? Where'd
Well,
they get it?
There were just many fun jokes about bullshit.
Mm.
Opposed to bullshit. Yeah.
We love the bull. The
Yeah.
bullshit joke. We love it. We love it. This costs $500.
Well, there were many theories because there's 3 restaurants owned by the same restaurant group who cook out of the same kitchen to serve all 3 restaurants. But the direction they were coming from isn't in any of their directions, so I don't know. I can't even make up what they're doing with this thing.
I don't know. Taxidermy is an interesting profession because you think it'd be full of people who want their pets taxidermy, but actually no. Strict rules against pet taxidermy because they actually don't ever get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Like you only think that deer looks right because you don't see that deer every day.
Yeah.
Wait, there are rules against having a domestic pet taxidermy?
More like guidelines.
Most taxidermists won't do it just because I don't think there are there's like a taxidermy board, but I think out of experience, when you have a pet every day, you notice like when the little things that are messed up or the big things. I think taxidermy might just not be that good at restoring the animal to what they actually looked like, and so your animal will look fucked up, and you won't like it.
I always think of it like a lot like wax
I'm
sculptures.
staring at Herbie right now, and so much of him isn't real. Like they try and preserve the outer layer of skin and the fur, but then
Everything
they
underneath
kind of
is-
take pictures, and the underneath is just styrofoam. They
Yeah.
carve a styrofoam sculpture of what the base is supposed to look like, but his nose is plastic. It's not real because that kind of the fleshy stuff doesn't keep. So like his eyes aren't real, they're plastic. His nose isn't real, it's plastic. All the stuff around the mouth is plastic. Just the hair and the fur on the skin is real, and the antlers. But there's
And the
not a
result
skull.
is- Yeah, that bear doesn't
those
look.
antlers. There's a
bull doesn't
screw
look
sticking
like
up into the antlers that holds them on. So yeah, I can see that you wouldn't want, you'd come back hoping for your dog to look just like it did, and you'd be like, what the hell did you do? Because so much of an animal's personality is in its eyes, and its mouth. And those are the two things that aren't real. Those
They
are,
scoop those out with fucking with a
yeah,
fucking
those
ice
are
cream scoop.
gone. Those are nasty, and there's no bone underneath. They can mimic the form of it pretty well with the styrofoam sculpture, but the eyes are lifeless and plastic and not real.
Yeah. So it's usually just hunters who want their shit taxidermied.
Yeah, my first big buck that I killed happened to be my first buck, and it was a 9-pointer, huge. I mean, she's mammoth. He is mammoth, and my grandmother paid the $180 to have it mounted for me. But after that, I never mounted another deer my entire life. I was just like, yep, clean it, skin it, let's take the meat, let's go, dump it in the creek, dump it in the holler, wherever.
I could see it if you were doing like exotic or like big game hunting. I had an English teacher in high school who was a fucking big game hunter in Africa.
Yeah, when I was young, and again, there's something about being testosterone filled teenager where you are just set free for the first time with an automobile and a black powder weapon, and you're allowed to kill any animal you see. And I would keep like,
I don't think that's technically true.
you haven't been to Georgia. It's like 7 months out of the year.
Well, yeah, in California, they'll fucking put you in jail the second they see you with anything that can
anything I
fire
just
a
mentioned.
projectile.
Like
No,
the truck
okay,
I was
that's very much
driving-
not true. I was gonna make a joke about you killing the neighbor's dog and then being like, "No, wait, he's 17. It's fine for another year. He just got it. He can kill all the pets he wants."
This may go back to my wife being like, hey, when we first started dating, she asked, is the rumor true about you burying kittens up to their neck and driving over them with lawnmowers? And I was like, what the fuck? No.
I've never heard of that before. That sounds horrifying.
thought you said a friend of yours did that.
And so when we were 17 years old and she asked me that, I was like, what? Who even made that up about me? And now in hindsight, when I say things like this, I can see how that kind of could have been misconstrued. But there were periods where I kept like turkey feathers, rabbit tails, just like little trophies from animals. I don't know why. Eventually, I just had a plastic bag full of tons of them, and I was just like, hey, these things don't mean anything to me anymore. I don't need the trophies. I enjoy
This is
them.
just a bag of dead animal parts.
Yeah, I enjoy the meat.
But now we hunt the biggest game. Drow.
Dragon.
Still no Loki?
Oh, Loki's not back?
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess we can continue to vamp.
Maybe those toilet gators got him.
Yep.
He is in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
What were we
Knock
talking
on wood,
about?
that's not true.
I definitely have more to say.
Well, I covered a lot there. Animal killing, gun
Oh, yeah.
enforcement, with things you will eat, birds you can defeat one-on-one.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you allowed to? I don't know what the rules are. If you're allowed to, like, if you were one of these guys who goes to Africa to hunt a fucking unruly elephant, if you could get that shit taxidermied, because I'd want that. I'd want my fucking elephant head at taxidermied.
Hell
Imagine
yeah.
that.
If I'm paying 10 grand for the elephant, we're paying another 5 to bring it back if I can just waste money like that.
That's a big head, though.
It is. You would have to. I mean,
I'd
I
probably
think it would
buy a
actually move
boat to like
I'd have to
carry it.
relocate to find a place to put this head, but I want a keepsake, right? This is a giant animal. You take.
Probably the only thing you can keep are the ivory tusks. Because I don't think they have many taxidermy shops in Africa where they don't have toilets.
Yeah, and you definitely can't ship that shit across the ocean.
The whole body. Yeah, you'd have to clean it and skin it and get everything off there. What
I don't
they
know.
can do, what they 100%
We're assuming
there's
there's not. Maybe there is taxidermy in Africa. Proud tradition of taxidermy in Africa.
What they can definitely do is you can take pictures of it with size relative things around you, and a good taxidermist can build a fake of what you have, and you can bring like the antler or the tusks and add the tusks to it. Because they're really good at that.
Now that you say that, I have heard of that. Yeah.
That's what has been more prevalent in the last 10 or 15 years with fish, especially, is the big fish. The bigger the fish, the worse it tastes. So catch the big fish, and
even the small ones don't taste great, honestly.
Well, I love fish. And take a picture of it, put a ruler by it, put a shoe by it, put whatever you need to by it to give it some perspective of size. And then the taxidermist can take that, extrapolate it out, and cut you a styrofoam mold, put fake fish skin on it, make it, paint it the color that it's supposed to look, and it looks good. Because they don't skin the fish and put fish skin on fake taxidermy fish, because then you just have fish smell in your house.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me I can just
fish aren't real
pay
at
a
all.
taxidermist and then lie that I'm just really good at hunting to people?
Oh,
you just got like your Red Ryder BB gun in your photos.
Dude, you can just go on Amazon and order like the biggest deer head ever, like a 28-point deer. Yeah, they'll completely fake one for you.
Your balls do fall off.
You can order a 28-pound bass.
They do shrivel up and decay. The second you order a deer head on Amazon.
Honestly, if I'm ever an eccentric rich billionaire like Bezos, I would definitely have an entire room in my mansion just filled with taxidermy that I didn't get, just to bring people in there for them to see all the leering dead animals and have them go, ooh, and then just have full
a month and a half ago, I ordered a fake jackalope, which looked amazing on Amazon, and it didn't get here because it somehow got stopped on its shipment from China.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all look like garbage, but this one looked fantastic. Like they took the fur from something real and made a little fake jackalope. And we were in some town where they had them everywhere, and my daughter thought they were hilarious. And I looked on Amazon and I ordered one right there. And 2 months later, I got an email that was like, "Hey, we're having trouble getting this to you. It's been stopped in customs." All right, refund my $15 and let's move along. But yeah, my testicles may have shriveled some. I ordered a taxidermied. I'm not even gonna say that's taxidermied. That's like manufactured by some Chinese.
Yeah,
children.
it's like getting one of those novelty mounted owl bear heads for D&D stuff. Like,
yes.
It's not real. Come on, there's no shame. Everyone knows it's not real.
Yes.
What's next? You gonna shame the guy for having 20 fake katanas in his apartment?
Those aren't fake. What makes them
Maybe
fake?
a little.
You guys
Yeah.
ever go down the
They're not so much
rabbit
fake, but they
hole
are
that-
cheap.
Yep.
You guys ever go down the rabbit hole? That guy who goes on there's a famous meme of him going on the news interview with the katana, where he's being interviewed because he's getting it's in some kind of altercation, and he's like, "Yeah, I had a plan to take him out and anyone else who got involved, just in case." Any of you know about the story?
I don't.
No,
I think
but
I've
it
seen
sounds
a
like
Let me
kid
tell you.
flourishing the sword.
Let me tell you how this story ends. He's dead.
Mhm.
Oh.
The way he died was he took on an apprentice to teach her the way of the sword. It was a woman. I'm horrified what his actual plans were. And his plan was to take her to the secluded island where he would teach her how to use the blade. This is like a very scrawny white guy.
Yeah, I think
Exactly. Yeah. Fedora.
Napoleon Dynamite.
No training.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite
Yeah,
type.
if I remember right.
So he takes this woman on his shitty boat during a storm to go to this island, and it sinks immediately. And she survives because she swims to shore. It's not that big of a deal I don't think it was that big of a swim. He dies because he goes diving for his swords.
His $110 katana that he got off the internet,
Mm-hmm.
It's his
Or ball.
legacy.
or bought at a weapon shop.
my
To
sensei
learn the
gave me
way of
that.
the
Cool.
fucking
Cool.
blade.
Sword is warrior's soul.
Well played.
And a gun is a
Welcome back,
warrior's
Loki.
Loki, I commission you to build me a katana. I give you
best.
10 years
He's in the cave like Iron Man.
to continue to press and repress the steel. And then it will replace my soul.
Must be folded 1,000 times in order to achieve the correct temper.
Indeed.
Oh God. Yeah, but we'll get back to the D&D. But I was going to say, Michael, about that story. And he said this is a scrawny white guy. I was going to say I would have been floored if you told me he was actually Asian. I would have been genuinely like,
Yeah.
whoa.
He's a 280-pound jacked Japanese man.
I mean, it could equally been a
Yeah,
fat
okay.
white guy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just saying. If it wasn't a white
He's
guy.
also
Yeah.
he's also 82 years old, and to completely change the story, so he's actually some sort of martial arts mess. 82 years old. He's jacked.
Big white
His
flowing beard.
great grandfather was fucking. I'm trying to remember a famous samurai's name, but none of them are coming to my head right now.
Many friends, 15 children, still married.
There are 17 martial arts moves named after him.
Those aren't even the
Speaking of
ones he
which,
invented.
Yeah. You're
now
telling
that
me
you've
you've
got-
never heard of the legendary martial arts master Joe Punch?
On martial arts and samurais, if y'all have got Netflix, a show called The Brother's Son is
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. That's solid.
it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. There's enough action in there to keep you hungry. It's kind of like a live action borderline anime with how good some of the key players are at martial arts, while still other players are just hilariously comical. But the storyline's good enough that it keeps you going. And it's only like, I don't know, Loki, 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's not too long.
Yeah.
But-
It's fun.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch.
If you want some just fun kick-ass karate.
As a final note in this conversation, these are my guidelines for the audience. If you are a white guy, you are allowed to own swords. But the only sword you own can't be a katana. You have to own one other kind of sword if you also have a katana. It has to be a part of your collection, okay? Look, you're
Does
giving
it
us all
have
a
to
bad
be from
name.
Game of Thrones?
Hey, look, It can be European. It can be maybe one of those like Australian, fucking
A
weird,
kukri?
weird ones. Like it can't only be samurai swords.
Okay. Real question though.
And no,
Michael.
you can't be like, this is my Tonto that I
Mm.
also have. No.
What if you
Real
have
question,
a
Michael.
katana and a wakizashi?
What if I have a Frostborn from Warcraft? And
Yeah, that counts. That's for sure counts.
is it more or less sad that it's not metal? It's a foam prop I bought from $20 from a strip mall discount store.
Weirdly
good with
enough, it's
I got.
I think it's better than having the Amazon.
Yeah, I think so too. Somehow the fact that it's like a foam prop for a costume makes it less like oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
You didn't drop $200 on this non-functioning weapon.
No,
You
I was
put
was
20
browsing a
bucks into a styrofoam replica.
yeah, that I found randomly at a store as an impulse buy.
Mhm.
I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
One day my mom randomly showed up with this blunt gladius.
That's
Hey,
cool.
now you can get a katana if you want.
Hey, look. To me, that says your mom knows you.
There you go.
She's starting to learn you. I appreciate a present like that. And my mom, when I was, 8, 9, 10, randomly gave me a book about dragons. And I thought, she's starting to learn me.
Yeah, but I never got to that point with my mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it means something.
I still give them a list. Like, I'm into 10,000 nerdy things. There's like a Google. Anyway, building just exploded. You all managed to get clear of the blast. Your ears are ringing. You pull yourself together. The smoking ruins of what was once the alchemist's laboratory of horrors lies behind you, narrowly avoiding the potentially lethal death trap.
Okay, so this was dumb and a bad idea. Let's go back to the army.
You got
You gotta.
Alexei Veilcroft, the vampire, out.
Wait, let's see if there might
Yes,
be.
unfortunately, we'll just have to wait for him to heal because
Mm.
He'll
healing
heal.
magic on him, I think.
I think we spend a moment and look through the rubble, see if there isn't a cannon that we can't pull out of this.
And your army has cannons already.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think there's anything salvageable from this building that just got.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
the
didn't get cannons.
the troops from Zingami showed up with their own
damn
Fusilier
drow
cannons.
brought. Yeah,
No,
Sorry.
the Dragonborn.
the Dragonborn. Okay, sorry.
They're just scaly drow anyway.
Yeah, I mean Freya built laser beams, but
Just buff drow.
just the idea of someone saying, Dragonborn are basically just elves.
Um,
It's so incredibly different.
If we prefer the term prismatic heat ray,
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, plasmoids and humans are basically just the same thing. One is a human with a skeleton.
Weirdly,
the other's
not
a
that-
pile of ooze.
I mean, really, a plasma
weirdly
just
not
a human that
most
went through a
far-fetched
strainer.
thing if you think that blueprint from the from the Roman times of their fucking heat ray used to set a ship on fire from the shore.
Mm.
There's a bunch of mirrors.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
difficult to signal the sky sleuths to come get you. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to do here.
I'm
Doesn't
probably
seem
just
like-
gonna fly up to the sky sleuth.
No, let's just get the fuck out of here. This is a waste of time.
Do we have any concerns about Veilcroft here, given what augmentations might have happened to him?
Well, I imagine if he was fully turned, he probably wouldn't have been left inside to die.
Fair. Still, do we want to keep him away from the army until he does revive, and then
we could cut open his brain and make sure one of those things isn't in there, and then let him heal.
Can we use? We don't have detect good or evil. I don't think.
Besides, he's undead. You would absolutely ping it.
Yeah.
Locate object. Earworm.
I mean, Thrum's not wrong. If you want to get some knives, just start rooting around in there.
Yeah, Thrum's pulling him down to the ground and starting this if y'all don't stop him.
Maybe that's not the best idea after he's just been tortured, Thrum.
Yeah, I think maybe just let him heal and then see how he is. Is he not?
Won't be able to tell.
Okay, we don't even make any more enemies, Thrum.
I'm flipping him over and cracking.
Whatever you do to him, I'm doing to you.
It's too late.
Kai, as he's going to wind back, I cast Hold Monster on Thrum.
Hold Monster. I think it's Hold Person. You have to do.
Yep.
I think Hold Monster works on everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
It just encompasses everything. They just I could check real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
Yeah, person generally is humanoids and monsters.
Choose a creature. Yep.
All right, so Thrum, give
could we bend the definition of locate object?
I'm going to resolve this first.
Okay.
Thrum, roll me a wisdom saving throw, and if you succeed against Loki's DC of 19, then you'll give me a medicine check. Wait, you're within 5 feet. Nah, that won't count. I just really wanted you to get a natural 1 on medicine and Gallagher this guy.
Yeah. Hold up, Thrum.
I'm stuck now, but I think it's a really good idea. He'll recuperate, or you fuckers can heal him.
I think it might be better to keep him as close to an ally as we can. I don't think
he won't
hitting him
know what we did. He'll think we rescued him.
No, we'll look at the others. I'm not on favor with this.
He's unconscious. They've been torturing him for ages. 2 years.
And I don't think...
And we're going to bring him out of it, but first we're going to check that he's not a robot. Not robot. I mean mind-controlled.
Nolgrim will look at the others.
Just wait a minute before you cut open his skull, again?
If he's mind-controlled by one of the fucking mental weird brain things, can we just do protection from good and evil again? Or is it we think it's from something else?
We think it's from a tadpole, or just tadpole.
Just see if there's a tadpole in there. If not,
just protection from good and evil on it.
He's an evil vampire.
I'll use protection from good and evil on him just to see if it does anything.
Nothing happens.
Good.
So, as I was kind of suggesting before, not technically an object maybe, but could fall under the broad definition of object.
I would allow... I don't know if locate person was a thing in 5th edition, but I would allow that to locate a tadpole.
Does anybody have it?
I don't. Let me see what kind of spell it is.
If not, some people will start needing to do some medicine checks.
Locate creature.
Okay.
Oh,
it's a 4th level divination spell.
Yeah, I would allow locate creature to work.
It would bard, cleric, druid, paladin, ranger, and wizard.
All heads look to Taskell. Probably not prepared, huh?
Yeah, not prepped.
All right, well,
don't carry that one every day.
If we take him back to camp, I can prep it for tomorrow.
It'll probably take him about a day to heal anyways. From all this.
All right, Nolgun will release Hold Monster. Say, I vote for taking
Yeah,
him back.
don't talk to me, boy. I'm not going to chop his head off if y'all don't want me to. I agree with the idea of the spell.
All right. Oh, nope.
Probably, are we going to take him back to the heart of camp, or are we going to keep him off a distance with him being a vampire and all? Brad, we all have
were
a motley group of allies, anyways.
There were
We literally have a red
cages over
dragon, a
here.
Yeah,
bunch of orcs.
I just acknowledged that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think this. He just looks like a pale guy mostly.
Yeah.
So unless you look at his teeth,
Mhm.
he's not a Nosferatu or something.
Yeah.
For our own protection, there were a bunch of cages over here where we found the Drider, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that'll hold a vampire. If we
I mean,
wanna
we'll at
do
least
that.
know that he broke out if we have someone guard the cage.
As you guys are flying back on the sky sloop, someone give me a knowledge religion.
That's not going to be
Got
me.
knowledge
I mean,
of
I'm
religion.
not looking at anyone in particular, but
Mhm.
Hey, that's
No.
fine.
Taskell, taking a little time to look at Alexi's body as you're traveling, you do notice that his surgical cuts, like where he was held open, and the punctures on his wrists and ankles, don't seem to be healing. As you examine the wounds, you stick a gloved finger in there, and your fingers come back dry. He seems to be entirely devoid of blood in his body. You're thinking that this is most likely inhibiting his unholy regeneration.
that's good. Let's wait until you can scan for
Mhm.
a little tadpole before
Yep.
we give him a little
next
sippy sip.
morning we check him and then
Mm.
feed him. I
Okay.
guess.
Creature. Determine if it's in his brain or not.
Can't be too careful right now.
If it's not there, it should locate to Fergus. Or no,
Fergus
Fergus has
didn't get-
a Fergus
Fergus
has a
didn't-
black
Here are
iron.
the freelings.
Yeah, some
Or-
of the god's blood in him. He's not tadpoles.
Weird metal
You
stuff
know?
got in his head. That's
Mhm.
yeah. We got two different brain things going on. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Which reminds me, thank you. Next day, Fergus, advantage Constitution saving throw.
Sorry, Fergus.
It's cool.
All right, you're holding out for now. You just hit it at 15. But the pains seem to gain more frequent now that you're closer to this place.
Fair enough. While we're flying back, speaking of,
Mhm.
makes me think. I would just ask Thrum when we get closer to the buildings if he detects a dwarf in the castle in the building here. In the I think it might be warded.
Yep. Also, I believe unless he's in his favorite terrain, it's 1 mile. So if you're up in the air, like I'm pretty generous about what counts as a cave for his favorite terrain, but I feel like in the air over an infinite void in a ship probably isn't going to count as.
What?
Yeah,
you mean
he
dwarves weren't meant to
specifically
fly?
He specifically needs to have the ability to touch and feel the terrain. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
But you are able to make it back to camp with no problems. All right. Is there any so you're gonna use detect creature on Alexi to try to locate a tadpole or anything in his body. You do not detect any tadpoles, intellect devours, or any parasites or anything of that measure in his body at all.
What
Yeah,
about
seems
what
it's just
about
him.
locate object for the god's blood? They mentioned that it was infused.
Mhm. Yes. Good looking out. You do detect small amounts of that. It looks like there's little bits, probably you'd say like the size of droplets in his heart, in a few of his veins. It looks like our alchemist friend was trying to experiment with replacing his blood with God's blood. Vampires being, sanguine creatures that they are, he was like, what would happen if I just do this? Not great results, apparently.
Knowing he's in the state where he, isn't going to, we're not going to be able to kill him. Could Thrum, placing a hand on him, feel those tiny shards and feel like he would have the ability to at least draw them out, not carefully like it would kill Nolgrim if he tried to do it. But with a creature he couldn't kill, could he bring them to his hand, pull them out?
That's an excellent question. Give me a disadvantaged medicine check.
Hell are these checks?
Is anybody able to assist him? Probably not for something like this.
This is like him closing his eyes and connecting with it. Like this is all very
this
new
is
territory.
Me, like trying to feel for the force.
I gotcha.
Yeah, if he was pulling out a knife and doing this the surgical way, I would allow that. Absolutely.
Can I use blessed? Can I see him concentrate? Can I use blessed just to kind of help bolster him with the spirit of the dwarven people?
You can, but that's a natural one, so my narration is gonna not change.
Fair.
Yeah.
So you guys see Thrum bend down. He places his hand on, you said, his head, right, Thrum?
I didn't say where.
Okay, but I will say his chest.
In my mind, it would be like the chest, like thorax area.
Yeah, his chest. Thrum closes his eyes in quiet concentration. He focuses for several minutes, and then the body swiftly spasms, and multiple little pinprick holes, like a reverse getting hit by a shotgun, opens up, and the little bits of God's blood just shoot straight, like the most direct path possible, to Thrum's hand. You take no damage, but well, he's in not very good shape still. As just arms, torso, legs. Some of those rip straight through his heart.
Yeah, let's get a pint in him. Like, not of alcohol though. Okay, everybody, let's donate to the blood pile.
Yeah. I think we would just fill
a... Y'all don't know what just happened because y'all don't know I can do that.
No.
No. Look up and he goes.
Yeah, just grab a fucking water skin. Everyone give a little bit so none of us get lightheaded or anything.
But Nolgrim's probably more surprised. What the fuck did he just do?
Give him a minute, because what I just took out of him is the God's blood that we found in the quarry. And
I mean, you got it out. Why do we need to take a minute?
Well, that's also what's in you. And like I've had a connection with the mountain and multiple other elemental energies, I can potentially have a connection with this God's blood, like it's an element, and I may be able to control it, but that's how bad I am at it now. If I get better at it, Fergus, I can potentially take that piece of metal out of you.
Thrum, I will say this as nice as I can. You have how many ex-wives? I don't think all your connections are good connections.
I would pull it out rectally from you.
I stand by my comment. Not all connections that you have are good connections.
I mean,
they're not all good connections.
First time in someone's life shitting blood would be a good thing.
Trust me, you don't want to know the other option.
Is it safe to be manipulating with this stuff? Because I mean, when you took on water, you became part water. When you become, I mean, earth and fire, and what will this do to you if you connect with it like that? Like, is that the same thing?
I don't know. I didn't know that I could connect to any of it before till it happened.
Mhm.
I didn't choose to connect to the earth. I didn't choose to connect to the water. I felt the opportunity to connect to the fire and I let it happen. I felt the opportunity to connect to the God's blood and I chose not to. When I was standing in the middle of that quarry, I realized that I could wrap that entire quarry around me and destroy anything that laid upon the earth. And it would exhaust me, but it would be ultimate power and destruction. So I chose not to do it.
Probably smart.
Sorry, that gave you. Wait, you could wipe out the planet, and it
No,
would just exhaust you.
I just gave me the feeling that I could wrap that entire quarry around me, mold myself
Oh.
into anything I wanted to be, and destroy anything I've ever heard of that exists on the planet. But it would definitely destroy me in doing so.
Oh, okay. That's entirely different from just exhaust you.
No, the ultimate exhaustion, other than feeling
Okay. Gotcha.
hurt from
Let's try
Exhaust
to avoid
in
that
the
at
same
all
way,
costs.
In the same way,
So-
fire gets exhausted.
exactly exterminate.
Ah, okay.
So the other day, Fergus allowed me to touch him,
Don't say it like that.
and in doing so, I could barely feel an image of the stone that is within him, but I don't have the control yet or the knowledge to get it out safely. I could only hardly tell it was in there and where it was, but
Yeah, we definitely
This-
want you doing that out point to
no,
the vampire
so
to him.
here with this vampire was my opportunity to try, and my link was not hardly as good as with Fergus. And
While he's
you saw
talking, I'm
what
just filling up a blood pouch.
Yeah.
By the way, they're like,
Yeah.
nah, this is great, but I feel like if we leave this guy with the God's blood wounds, he's probably just gonna
Yeah,
die
go
even
for
being
it.
a vampire.
No, Nolgrim's just trying to take all this insight in.
Fix him. I need to rest.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I would gather blood from a group of us, into like a pouch and feed it to him.
Just right there on the ground.
Well, we would go somewhere where it's not just like a bunch of people watching, obviously.
Right, but you're like
Probably
you're gonna
probably in like a tent or something.
yeah, you're gonna like support his head and dump it down in his mouth.
More or less, yeah.
All right.
Ready
Let's
to jump
see.
away if he tries to actually bite me, though.
Oh, he is absolutely gonna do that immediately.
He's
Yeah,
His
ravenous.
blood
He's
goes in,
ravenous.
his eyes shoot open, pure red. Bestial fangs leap out, clearly like a pure instinct thing. Give me a acrobatics. I'll roll his athletics. I mean, you could technically use a. Actually, I'll use an attack roll from him. You could technically use a 18.
I added 21 acrobatics.
All right, so one more unarmed. 26. This is against your AC. Sorry.
Oh, that's against my AC.
Mhm.
I believe that'll hit no matter what I can do. Just let me check real quick.
Mm-hmm.
My AC. Yeah, that'll hit me no matter what.
All right. So he does successfully grapple you, but that's all his action, so he can't use his bite to drain your blood. So
I would like to do
Get
hold
the hungry
monster.
vampire off
Yeah.
me, please.
yeah, you can go ahead and do hold monster.
All right, wisdom save.
All right.
That's a success.
bestial vampire strength powering through the might of your spell, even greater than Thrum.
Yep.
Anyone else present want to do anything? This is not like a full fight. It's just trying to simulate the moment.
Yep. That's exactly.
I mean, Thrum would instinctively go large and slam a hand down on him to try and hold him down.
I was going to grab my weave cloak and just wrap it around my neck.
Yeah, we can do a opposed athletics there, Thrum, to see if you can counter grapple. He gets a 20. Respectable.
Yep. I'm not enraged, so I don't get advantage on the athletics.
All right. As he grabs Fergus by the shoulders, you enlarge and your hand just shoots out, plowing into the ground, and you put all your stone weight on him as your hand covers his entire torso. It's an enlarged version of what you just did a moment ago. He is hissing and thrashing and scratching about, but you've got him for a moment for you guys to try to get the rest of the blood pouch into him.
Yep.
What was his name?
Alexei Vailcroft.
I don't know if insight is the right way to do this, because it's not persuasion, but it's knowing when you've got a trapped dog who's scared for its life, the way you use your voice. As
handle animal?
I'll let you do handle animal. I'm a Vampire the Masquerade guy.
I'm holding him and like squeezing with the hands, it's the pressure of, we've got you and you know us and we're on your side, and you release a little bit for a moment, but if there's restraint, you push down easy, like you use the voice and you use the pressure and you use all that. I have no handle. Oh, I do have some handle animal.
I mean, we're also just shoving the fucking blood down his throat too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we put you in charge of the handling animals.
So... man, 22 bitches.
Well, it's not complete 1-to-1, as he is a undead in a freezing frenzy as opposed to like a wild hound.
Yeah.
There is some overlap, and while he is still absolutely snarling like some unnatural thing from the crypt, he is scratching and thrashing a bit less, making it possible for whoever to come over and stuff the rest of the blood from the pouch down his throat. He becomes a bit less gaunt in form, and you begin seeing the wounds that he has across his body heal up. He goes still, stops thrashing. His eyes are closed for a moment, and when they reopen, they are his normal color, no longer glowing red. He looks around at all you standing over him. I apologize you had to see me in such a state.
What's your name, buddy?
Alexei Vailcroft.
It's okay, we all get a little hangry.
You tried to steal silverware from my manor.
I'm sorry you were trapped so long behind enemy lines. And
it's
sorry for what they did to you.
Yes, well. Listen, not that the physical touch isn't comforting. Was there any chance you could get this hand off of my torso?
Are you feeling okay?
And he's talking to us.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
Plus, are any of us really okay?
No, I think we're all pretty well traumatized at this point, some more than others.
He sits up. Not the kindest imprisonment I've had. He kind of feels around on his chest. Whatever they put in me seems to be gone now.
That would be thanks to our friend Thrum. But what do you need to get into shape? The we are only here because this is the day of fate, as to say. Our forces are preparing to march on the city.
He blinks for a moment, coming to himself. Goes, the dragon.
Yes.
Right. I have to warn you about the dragon.
What's new about the dragon?
It's everyone here listens to a beast they call the Master. Oh, is it Encephalon? I heard the alchemist say, but that's not the dragon I'm talking about.
Another
They
dragon.
have an adult blue dragon that was brought in by the drow. They had her in chains. I
that
saw.
would probably be our old friend Hellspit's
Sister.
older sister, younger
Mhm.
sister, one of them, half sister.
Yeah, half sister. I saw when I was attached to the slab the schematics that damnable alchemist was using. He's planning to incorporate some sort of large eldritch brain into that blue dragon.
Where's that? Is that in the city?
Most likely.
I assume so. I didn't see anything like that in the lab, or I lost consciousness. I mean, if you got me there, then you would be a better authority than me.
I mean, we do have a cleric that can ask questions to these questions for us. I think we
Also,
still have
purely
the
out of
office to
character.
commune.
The lab exploded. How many
Yeah.
more strongholds do they have?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that only makes us need to act even quicker, and that makes up my mind. I think we should
We should just march on the city with
march.
the
Yeah,
iron,
march
with some army.
everything straight down.
Black iron up front, just to start pounding it down.
Yep.
How's the progress on the road on this way?
It's only been like a day. They're still going, even with their stompy, smashy,
Yeah.
awesome power. Logistics aside, they're not too there yet.
Yeah, like I said, I was asking the progress.
1/8 of the way.
I mean, we should at least start marching
Yeah.
some of them onto this bridge and deal
Mhm.
with that.
I mean, the aerial drop worked pretty well last time.
Yeah,
that's
but
something
they'll
on
see us
dragon.
coming. We need to at least have the army start.
No, I fully agree. I'm
Knocking on
curious
heaven's
if we
door
want
over
to
here.
make an assault on the battlements
Mm.
while our army marches forward, so it's not necessarily
So-
entirely to the slaughter.
Also,
But-
purely out of character, just to remind you, the aerial drop worked well last time, and it was a trap.
Yeah.
Just floating that out
Yep.
there to remember.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the
So-
question is are those ramparts so manned that an aerial drop's not going to be a viable option?
Well, they
Are we just
they
gonna have
do
to
have
soak
an
that
alarm
damage?
on the barrier, so it's not going to be a surprise if we go in aerial drop.
Right.
But the only way
But we're
we
not
can
going to be
aerial drop
crossing the
is on these
barrier. The
ramparts.
the ramparts are not part of the barrier.
No, but us like
Yeah.
airdropping like onto the ramparts. I think they would see us coming. That
I
would be a
say we just
surprise.
go. I say
We
we
just
just
need to
go
march
through
the army
door.
onto the.
All right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we march the
Alright,
army.
fellas.
Do you think we could get the dragon to possibly just sweep the battlements to try to slow things down as they
Oh, yeah,
start
the
to
red
fire
dragon.
on our army?
Mm.
Something to at least slow the fire and allow our army to get some sort of
Yeah, our aerial
Yeah,
stuff to
ask
deal
them
with
to-
it while we
Yeah.
also
Run
march, so-
interference.
Yeah.
Let's get
Alright,
Maladraxus and ask him if he'll run interference for those cannons.
and
So are y'all thinking
and
just
the
attack
drakes.
from one direction?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm thinking.
we could send the I think
think
there's
so.
no point in attacking two different ways. It'll just their defenses will just mow them down just as quick. So yeah, I think we need to focus on one direction and try to punch through.
I concur.
Just FYI, guys, I think we probably should call it here because
Yeah,
I have to
mm,
work
mm.
super early in the morning. so I
Oh
probably should-
shit! It's only
problem.
11:05.
Yes, there's only one
Yeah.
other little thing I want to
Yeah.
do. That's
That's
not
fine.
about battle plans.
Go ahead.
Alexi, who's still with you, goes, I really do appreciate getting me out of there. I know that we've had somewhat of a tumultuous history in the past, But I find myself, especially with the whole several years of experimentation and torture, now very personally invested in the events down here. If you would allow me, I would like to assist you in the coming battle.
Absolutely. We'll take all the help we could get. Everything's on the line here.
Appreciate it. Now, I should go find some more blood to make sure that I'm at full strength for the coming fight.
Somebody show him to the camp of the Freelings.
We could also just requisition some blood and just give it to him without killing anybody in our
Out
army.
of character code, not the orc.
Hey,
I mean, the orcs are pretty valuable fighters.
I mean, I guess we won't miss one orc, honestly.
now
As
an
long as you
orc
can do it discreetly.
that can plow a field.
Freelings, a bunch of kobolds or a bunch of orcs.
Yeah, but the thing
On
is,
your
the
side.
kobolds are tumultuously our allies. The orcs are just an ally for now.
They're all pawns. They're ants.
All right, so just to let you guys know, because we're going to be getting into the big fighties next session. It sounds like as you guys are pushing into the siege. The plan that I had for going into the gauntlet, a series of different fights, is that anytime you guys wanted to, you could at the start of your fight, instead of rolling your main PC, you could sub out one of your cohorts. And since you saved Alexei, he is now also going to be one of the options you can put in.
Okay.
Just a full force vampire. No legendary actions because he's a PC now. But
We should probably also
Nice.
level the other cohorts to what they should be at.
already did.
Okay.
Would we be starting after a full rest with this?
Yes, most definitely.
Good.
I'd imagine.
I
after the whole
definitely
explosion
would want
and
to.
everything.
Yeah.
But yes.
The
So
second we conclude this battle, we just go to the Freelings and we're like, how do you like the rebrand to Lings?
Zerglings?
I am going to need to like rewatch the footage and just backtrack why I decided to hate the free.
No, that's the
Yeah, I
jump
don't-
combo. They didn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
We just
Well,
hate
they
them
are
for
squatting in that one cave that is
They were.
our property.
I don't think it ever. I mean, yeah, they were lower.
Speaking, they were squatting there before you reclaimed
Yeah.
Dammerhall.
Yeah.
Look, they're
They-
all our
I mean,
property.
In their
Personally, I
defense,
just never
they were
liked
there
kobolds.
before us, and
The Drow owe us rent on their city.
we weren't. We weren't in dire need of it at the time.
Mm,
They're weak and puny, and we will have them fall before us.
But they are drastically lowering our property value, so that I mean,
So the cohorts we have are
Did you
Ignis,
say our
Iago, and Miku, and then now
and
Vampire
now-
Bro.
Alexei, yeah.
Yeah, because Ivy's going to be out of commission.
Yeah,
for-
Ivy's going to be out of commission.
Ivy.
Kind of embarrassed it took me this long to consider the option, but is there a connection between the God Blood and the Black Iron?
Something to investigate next session.
Yeah, this raises concerns.
Mhm. I'm going to go ahead and go then, guys.
Yeah, let's unplug the recording too.
Yeah, I have to work super early, and we have a big corporate visit, like the upper people of corporate. So
Oh yeah.
I have to deal with that bureaucratic nonsense, which hopefully they'll keep me out of it. Because if they ask me a stupid question, they're going to get a stupid answer.
Now every time they